Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Just another day living in the hood. Just another day around the way. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 992 with the two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Just 8 short shows away from the big 1,000. It's getting very close, Mike, to the point that I'm starting to get a little bit of butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, man. It's I can't wait. I'm watching the animals fight in the yard, and I'm breaking down their pad level and if they can set the edge or not. And this is how deprived I am for actual football. I'm watching groundhogs fight. I'm watching birds fight, and it's like backers on backers or backs on backers drills.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's getting close. So much stuff is just right around the corner for us here at the show. So much stuff. Like we were just under a month away from the Steelers showing up at training camp. Of course, we have the 1,000th episode. We have the 5 years. So much stuff coming along the way here. Very excited. Almost give me some nervous diarrhea in a way, but you know what? I think we'll survive this, and we'll get through it like we have many, many times before. How are you this day? How are you today? Did you have a nice weekend, man?
I did. I had a very nice weekend. Was able to go home, see the parents for the weekend. You know, took the kids. So that was a good time.
Good, man. I do want to say welcome to everybody on the board. It is in the house so far. I do want to say just learning. You made it in first. You do have the coin toss today. Also, he says first homie. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Just Learning on the terrible board. Also, I do want to say what's up to the original OG Yinzer Joe. That's right, baby. Trey JPJ. He's saying what's up.
We started early today.
It's not even we're not even in the first 5 minutes of the Monday show, already starting on the board. And of course, Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California, one of the greats here on the terrible board. As we do move along, Mike, and again, many things are coming along the way. Many things went down this weekend. If you are a Pittsburgh sports fan, and as a matter of fact, it went good for every single group except for the Pirates bullpen. Everybody had a great weekend as far as sports in the Berg went this weekend, except for that that latter part of that pitching staff of the Pirates, Mike, and for myself, I'm this close. I'm really this close from throwing in the towel. Not because I don't believe in the players, not because I don't like the team. It's because the GM is terrible and is going to wait till the season is over to start making moves. Albeit we are sitting 2.5 games out of a wild card spot at the moment, which I guess is the logic that they're using. But if you fuck around any longer, I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of opportunities and probably not be playing in October.
Yeah, it's like we've been saying for a while now, for at least a month now. Make the moves. We would say like a month ago, start making moves now. So you're not in this spot of should we or shouldn't we. You're in that purgatory spot. And look where they ended up. Exactly where we said they would if they didn't start making moves. And you don't have to wait until the trade deadline. Get them in early, man, so you can keep riding that wave. So you can shore up that bullpen. You knew the bullpen was going to be a problem. So address it early when you saw that, hey, we have a really good ball club. After the 7th inning, if the games ended in the 7th inning, the Buccos would have a winning record. They have like one of the best records in baseball.
They would literally, I have the number here in front of me, Mike. They would be 55-27. They would be better than every team in the major leagues, Mike. That would have them at a 67.1 winning percentage.
Yeah, so that tells you right there. You know where the problem is. Go fix the bullpen. You're seeing the other two teams in town address issues and address needs. It took a while, but Omar Khan finally landed that number 2 receiver. It took a couple of hits and misses, but we got him. Whereas the Buccos, they see they need bullpen help, and they ain't doing the goddamn thing to do it. They're just letting it go.
This is why we have problems in this city as far as our baseball team, because I don't know, a sports-minded person would say, okay, well, this is the issue. Let's take care of this so we could stay ahead of the curve. And for whatever reason, for the Pirates, that's not the case. They wait till after the damage is done to then start making moves. And again, this is just kind of something that's been going on for years and years and decades and decades. So nothing new with us as far as the Pittsburgh Pirates go. Mike, the team is sitting. I think they're at 500 or 1 game over. I don't have it in front of me, but I do know that they do start a series today, Mike, after beating the Reds yesterday 9-4. Brandon Lau gets his 20th home run of the season. They lose the series 1 game 2-1 to the Reds, Mike, but they do start a 4-game set today, which could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because these Philly teams, of course, always competitive. The funny thing about Philly teams, with the exception of the Flyers, Pittsburgh teams don't really give them all that much attention, and then when we play them, we end up losing to them. So maybe we should be paying a little bit more attention to Philly teams, because again, who cares about the Eagles? Who cares about the Phillies? When it comes down to it, we have a difficult time beating teams. So perhaps we should focus a little bit more on beating those teams.
Yeah, like we should. The only one that does anywhere is the Penguins. And for the longest time, the Penguins had a trouble winning against Philly, especially in Philly. Now it's like we own them. Crosby, it makes them his bitch every time he goes up against them. So maybe one of the Buccos and one of the Steelers should decide to do that too. It'd be nice to see.
It would be nice, Mike. A whole lot of other stuff going down in the Berg this weekend are women. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go here first. I think that it's due. I think that we should pay the Penguins respect, Mike. They had a nice draft. As a matter of fact, they get a pair of twins. With their first 2 picks in the NHL draft on Friday into Saturday through the weekend, Mike. Of course, Liam Ruck, the right winger, was their first overall pick, the Penguins' first pick, pick number 22 in the draft. And then his twin brother, Marcus Ruck, they get at 39 in the second round. They get 6 guys altogether, Mike, for this draft. You liking what you've seen from these kids? Again, in hockey, it's different. It's hard to tell early on. It's really hard to tell early on. But from what you gathered, was this an okay draft for the Penguins?
Yeah, for what it looks like, it's really good. Those 2 cats, the twins, they haven't spent more than 4 days apart from each other. So look for them to
in their lives.
Yeah, in their lives,
wow.
Legit. They're like the Sendin twins. They're attached at the hip. The guy in the first round, he's more the finisher. Yeah, apparently he has a wicked shot, wicked quick release. And the brother, the center, he's more of the playmaker. So it works perfect for them too. And hopefully they can get here quick. And if that Ben Kindle keeps playing the way he did, the rookie from last year, that could be your new top line, like Kindle and the Ruck twins.
Pittsburgh Penguins, very active last week, Mike. We got the Penguins, the Pirates, of course. We got all kind of things actually going down this weekend, Mike. The gals, our soccer gals, the Riveters, they finished an undefeated season, Mike, by beating Steel City 5-0. Second year looking pretty good, Mike, both years so far for the lady soccer players here in town.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Vanilla Thunder has developed a deep crush on the Riveters. He's rooting them on. I'm rooting them on. And hey, anytime you have an undefeated team in Pittsburgh, I'm gonna fucking celebrate.
Absolutely, Mike.
It just makes the city look better.
Speaking of making the city look better, before we touch on the last football note, before we do get into our Steelers, Mike, I know a lot of people on our board don't necessarily follow the NBA. However, last week in the NBA draft, Malik Thomas, Mike, he was selected in the second round, 34th overall. He joins Quaker Valley's Adu Thero and also Olsha's Cam Johnson as WPIAL players drafted in the NBA since 2019. Malik, Mike, of course, was a part of that Lincoln Park team with Brandon Cummings a couple years ago. If you remember, I was working the state championship game, and I was telling you about how amazing this kid. He's going to do well in the draft. He's going to do well. This is Malik Thomas, Mike. He's on his way to Cleveland. Nice close to home gig. Again, second round. I expect this guy to do great in the NBA. But again, Mike, just three. Again, the Western PA is not a big NBA area. Of course, no NBA team. It's all football here. Sprinkled with a little bit of baseball and a side of hockey. But at the end of the day, Mike, that's three guys into the NBA just in the last so many years. So good on him. Good for Malik. Good luck to you in Cleveland. As I would like to tell everybody that ever has to go to Cleveland, good luck. But there you go.
Right.
Good for him. Good luck to you, sir, and hope you do great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anytime someone local gets drafted into one of the big leagues, yeah, hell yeah, man. You got to celebrate that shit. That's awesome. This small little area pumping out pros all across the sports world.
Western PA, baby. It's always the hotbed and the place to be. Finally, Mike, here in the Berg over the weekend, we want to talk about some gridiron. I want to talk about some female football players. The Pittsburgh Passion, they wrap up their first round of the playoffs against the Mile High Blaze as they beat the Mile High Blaze 44-6 to advance to the semifinals for a second year in a row against the same exact team, Mike. Pittsburgh being the number one team, only percentage points higher than the DC Divas. Mike, we split the series with them. We kick a game-winning 30-yard field goal to win game one. They scored. They rally pass us up with under a minute in game two to beat us by less than a touchdown. This is the Ravens Steelers series as far as WFA goes, Mike. But the bigger news is this: they have a week off this week, but when they do play DC next Saturday, it will be on ESPN Plus. So we won't be directing people here to YouTube to watch the women's football game semifinal. We'll be watching that on ESPN Plus, and the winner of the big game goes on to Canton, Ohio, to play for the championship once more.
Hopefully we can pull it out this year. It's been so close the past couple of years. I just want them to pull it off, man. We need a win. We need another win. We had the Riverhounds win it recently. If the girls can pull it off, to be awesome. And then maybe the Steelers or the Penguins can pull it off, because we know the Buckeyes aren't going to do it.
Well, we got some people, Mike, that are giving us the odds, telling us how things are going to look this year. But you know what? For our Steelers, we're going to get into that and so much more. But we're not going to skimp out on anybody on the board. Welcome back to the show. This is Monday of the Two Dum Yinzers, guys. This is episode 992. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. A couple things going on today, Mike. I do want to say this. In the Berg, last Friday, I failed to mention it, and I regretted it all weekend, Mike. It was the 25-year anniversary since Lloyd McClendon stole the base. No, he didn't get credited for a stolen base. He was, of course, the manager of the Pirates at the time, arguing with an umpire, and got so fed up with the argument, he picked the base up out of the ground, stomped off the field, and it was one of the greatest moments in Pittsburgh history.
I love it. Anytime Lloyd McClendon's name is mentioned, that's my first memory of Lloyd. May not be the greatest manager of all time, but he had the boys back. He would go out there and fight and when he stole that base and I'm going home, it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in sports. And I witnessed 2 Super Bowls, 5 Stanley Cups. For me, it's right up there with those moments. It's bigger than the Cueto game to me.
And also, Mike, the other big one, yes, the Cueto game, yes, I agree. Yeah, the other big thing, the anniversary that happened this weekend, just yesterday, if you recall, Undertaker throwing Mankind.
Yes.
Undertaker throwing Mankind through the steel cage at the pay-per-view at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Mike, 28 years ago yesterday. Everybody that's a wrestling fan will remember this. The big cage match, the Hell in a Cell. Undertaker throws Mankind through it multiple times off the top onto the table, and Mankind's tooth was literally sticking through his lower lip. That's how brutal the crash was. So two pretty big anniversaries here in Pittsburgh. Mike, again, Lloyd McClendon stealing the base, and of course, Undertaker, Mankind. Two big anniversaries this week.
They killed him. He's dead, King. He's dead.
Oh my God, you killed him. He's dead.
The best part is like the throw through the table. That they knew that was going to happen, but for some odd reason, these two lunks didn't realize. Like maybe a over 500 pounds of force being dropped on a rickety ass steel cage. Someone might fall through. We didn't realize that would happen.
I tell you what, the Attitude Era, I was watching a few things over the weekend, and the Attitude Era was something like nothing else if you were into wrestling at that particular time, and I was, and they were battling WCW and ended up leading to the big buyout. Great time for wrestling if that was your thing, Mike, but of course, one of the great moments that anybody can ever remember would certainly be that Undertaker Mankind.
Yeah,
fight.
like how those two and like the Hardys, Edge and Christian and the Dudleys are still walking is a goddamn surprise.
Yeah.
Like and Shane McMahon, how's he still alive as well? The shit that he did to get his dad's approval that he never got.
He's a beast, man. There was no two ways about it. I remember him jumping from ring post to ring post, kicking guys in the head and that. So lots of fun times, guys. A few more small things. I swear to you. And then we're into all Steeler talk for the duration, guys. We are less than a month from training camp. Like less than a month from training camp. On the 28th, the guys start showing up in Westmoreland County at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. 1 month from today, the Steelers training camp begins officially.
I can't wait. I can't. Like I said, man, I'm out there watching the animals fight. I'm looking for to hear the pads pop and the helmets are cracking. I need it.
Hell, we even took it to the show. We got into battle last
I know,
week.
right?
This is
God damn it, Art Rooney. See, this is all your fault, Art. You caused Ryan and I to fight because you are not having padded practices. Fuck the CBA. Fuck the players' health and safety. I need it.
Absolutely, man. I did, Mike. I did. It was funny because last night I was scrolling through some things on YouTube and I found a game that I went to when I was 12 years old. It's actually the Bengals at the Steelers. It was Bubby Bristow had a cannon, 75 yards in the air.
Yeah, baby.
Like he was, and I don't appreciate all the guys that I got to watch when I was there as a 12-year-old. Now, I mean, there was Eric Green, there was Rod Woodson, it was the whole crew. Greg Lloyd was there. Yeah. David Little, Merrill Hodge, Tim Worley, of course, from here on the show. Bubby, Lewis Lips, Gary Anderson. I didn't appreciate that when I was 12. I just thought, oh, these guys stink. What's going on? But you know what? This was one of the more star-filled teams the Pittsburgh Steelers had, certainly between the 70s and the 2000s. Mike, if you had to put a few teams together that were just really full of names and players, this would have been one of them because everywhere you turned around, it was a great Steeler. Carnell Lake was there the whole way down the list, man.
Even you can go down to like someone like Darren Perry might not be, a name that a lot of people recognize, but he was a damn good safety back in that era. If they had like a better quarterback, that team could have won some games. I don't think they would have won a Super Bowl, but they would have been a lot better than what they were. I loved me Burster when I was younger because he would just say fuck it and throw it deep, and he was a dumbass, and I loved it back then. But now you're like, oh man, if they actually had a better quarterback, that team would have been really good.
He had a cannon. There's no two ways about that, as Mark Malone saying on the top of the board. I do think that is everything before we do get into it. One more thing, I guess, Mike. I'll save this till later on in the show, actually. Let's say what's up to everybody in the board. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are coming in from. Glad to see you today. Welcome back to the Two Dum Yinzers. This is episode 992. Let's get back on the board. I do want to say welcome to everybody. Let's go right here to the original OG, Joe. He says pad level and play level isn't going to matter if McCarthy's put this staff together and they can't coach, let alone the players need to play good. Tyrone, he says, this, my man, I do want to say what's up to the GOAT, Tyrone. Always great seeing you on a terrible board, my friend. I apologize. I thought that Pirates and Red series was going to be a lot better this year, and Here we are sitting in the basement. But you know what? We are not out of it, though. Keep in mind, we are only about 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, Ty. So it's there's a chance. And with that being said, bright and early, there's a chance. It has something to do with today's trivia question. Just put that in your back pocket and save it as the show continues on. Let's go here to Tortilla. Paul wants a bathroom stall. Damn it. What is with Pittsburgh? Why is there no bathroom stalls? Tyrone says, hope you all had a great weekend as well for you, sir. We did. I had a good weekend. Mike seemed to have a pretty good weekend. It's getting hot now in the Berg, so we're just acclimating to that. Let's go here to Just Learning. Howard is going to the practice squad. Mark Malone, always great seeing Mark Malone, the man, the myth, the mustache in the Heezy. And I also did see him in some videos that I watched over the weekend. I see some classic Mark Malone footage as well. Lots of cool things I came across this weekend. As a matter of fact, I was really surprised to find that game that I actually went to when I was 12 years old. It took a lot of dissecting and looking around, but I found it. I found the game, and there was the oddities during the game that I remembered as a kid seeing it now, watching the video back 36 years later. It's just very interesting. It was really cool to see just a couple of the things that I specifically remember. So it was cool. Mark Malone says Porter is going to Detroit. Inja Joe says JPJ is going to hold out and get traded. Mark Malone says Porter is going to Detroit. Tortilla says Detroit what? Detroit what? Yeah, baby. Detroit what? Let's go here to Mark Malone. It's really looking more and more likely. We'll get into some JPJ talk today as the show does get going along. Tortilla says this is the first I'm hearing of a JPJ trade. This is insane. He's saying, and you know what? I got something to ease some minds today. Mike touched on it briefly last week, and again, I think we're going to try to nail the point home to prove that it's not necessarily a bumbling of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now that's not allowing this to happen. There's a few other things that you need to happen before you could actually make his contract happen. We'll get into those situations here in just a moment. Also, let's go to Tortilla. He says, I'm sorry, we did get Tortilla. I'm going to go right here to Super Saiyan Redby. I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Great to have you here. He says, have you ever traveled to European countries? I'm planning to fly to Italy. There are cultures, there are beautiful nature, history, and good food. I've always heard great things about Europe. It sounds like a wonderful place. I've never been there personally. The only country I've been to outside of the U.S. was Canada. And it was an 8th grade field trip.
Same.
Really?
Like literally, I've been to Canada twice. I've always wanted to go over to Europe and visit, but never had the time nor the money to go pull it off. And
it was cool. It was Toronto. I mean, if you want to consider that Canada, but it is what it is.
Buffalo Light.
I'll always say that. I always say that that's been my other country, and I have. I mean, for a brief period of time, I was in another country. Let's go here to. I hope you have a safe travel, and I hope everything does go well for you. Super. Glad you're here. Just Learning says, Mike, your sign behind you. I was wondering what was going on. Things were falling and swinging. And
I noticed the screws a little loose when I was moving some stuff around earlier down here in the studio. I'm like, we're fine. And I'm sitting here, and I just happened to look in the back. I'm like, I think the sign started drinking before me.
And
I'm gonna.
That is a feat in itself, believe me.
Exactly. But so I'm just gonna leave it there. I kind of like it. You know, it fits my vibe. It fits my mood.
Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, laugh my fucking ass off. No reports, but but okay. We got more fake insiders, of course, on the JPJ talk. The original Yinzer Joe says, don't be lying. Mark Malone, don't be lying. Detroit, what? Let's go down to Tortilla. He says, I have an idea. Let's get a first and third for JPJ. Like my idea, I come up with the best ideas. I always love Tortilla on the board. Let's go back to Mark. Mark Malone says this. Yeah, it's being kept on the down low for now at Tortilla. Tyrone says we're trading Frazier and Troy too, I heard. Hey, at this point, why not? Let's just throw them all on there. Let's go to Tortilla. He says this. I bet the first person to break the news. I bet I'm the first person to break the news that JPJ is being traded. Let's go right here. I do want to say what's up to Child. He says, I pray for this day. Man, I likewise, sir. Hope you have a great one. Thank you for being on our board. Also, Tyrone says, Tortilla, no, me first. Me first. Love seeing my man Ty. Hope you had a great weekend, sir. And another good friend I like always seeing on the board is Jamal in the house. Gang, in this thing with a chicken wing on a string from Burger King. Always great seeing my man Jamal in the Heezy. Baby, hope things are going well for you. I know now it's got to be getting hot in Texas. I know it. It's got to be getting hot in Texas. He follows it up by saying, do we have a time for the start of the show? Laugh my ass. Yeah, it's roughly between 11:30 and 12:30 and 12:40 right now. However, during the season, we do expand it back to the original hour earlier start, which is 11:30 to 3. But during the off season, while the news is minimal and things of this nature, it's usually between 12:30 and 12:40 start. I do apologize about that. We will certainly try to make that more clear, certainly after the break, and we just get through a little bit of the summer. We do have vacation coming up here not too long, but we aren't going to do that till we knock out 1,000 episodes, guys. That is going to be next Thursday. That is how it plays out. Next Thursday is going to be the 1,000th episode, and I think after that, we're actually going to start our vacation on Friday and then go from there. So we certainly will keep you posted along the way, but as of right now, I've looked at 12:30 is a good safe time to start. And again, that will change here in another month. Let's continue down. Let's go right to Tortilla. He says, this is your least you ever been, Jamal. Hey, better late than never. Great seeing you, my friend. Great seeing you. Great seeing you. Tyrone, usually like 12:40 for me, so maybe 11:40 for you. Jamal, hit that like button for some real, man, hit it up, baby. Listen to my man. Listen to Tyrone and listen to Jamal. Listen to everybody. They know what they're talking about. Thank you, sir. Just Learning says this. Got to go to work. Good. Give the coin toss to JPJ. All right, that's cool, man. We will get that figured out. Have a great day, Just Learning. Hope you're having a good one, man. And thank you for being here. Let's go to Jamal. Jamal says, okay, that's what I've been thinking. I thought it was 11. Gotcha. Let's go here. Let's go to Tortilla. Just Learning picked hails. Just Learning picked hails. Tyrone says this. Yeah, YouTube used to be after 11:30. Get on YouTube. Follows it up by saying, I'm excited this year for the battles we have. This is the most competition we've had in a few key positions for years. I would agree with you, Tyrone. Mark Malone, yes, Brister did have a cannon. Again, Mike, this was just it wasn't even a big play. He just ended up throwing the ball away, and it was roughly 75 yards. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, that ball really traveled. And then the announcer made a point to say that was 75 yards in the air. Bubby, 1990.
He had a cannon.
It was a lot of fun to watch all the guys. I got to be on, Mike. These are the guys that I remember as I got into football. So it was really, really fun to watch these Steelers play. I recommend doing it. And I also got on to watch some of the old classic 70s regular season games. A lot of fun as well. You hear about them often. Yeah. YouTube certainly gives you the luxury of being able to go back and check them out. I recommend doing so if you haven't. Mark Malone said I had an old game pop up in my feed over the weekend. You know what? That's what they just been popping up in my feed. Mark, I don't know what. They're just a bunch of older Steeler games. Some in the 70s, some in the 80s, some in the 90s, some in the 2000s. So check them out. Tortilla says, Two Dum Yinzers is really about Mark Malone and Yinzer Joe. Oh. Mark Malone says, hell, I've never been to Canada. I mean, we're just a hop, skip, and a jump here. I mean, you just got to go up into the state of New York and past Buffalo, and you're there. So I think that's why. Otherwise, I probably would have never been there either. It was, like I said, a school trip. It was like a weekend or some shit. Excuse me. Yinzer Joe says it's the guaranteed money that Porter won't agree with. He'll hold out, and the Steelers will trade him. Tortilla says just so we can complain on another not getting sacks and then trade for another DB at the trade deadline. Yinzer Joe, he says yes, some screws are loose in the podcast, but that's why we love you guys, and you know what? That's why we love you too, because you love us, guys. No, we certainly do appreciate you guys more than anything. You know that. Let's go here. Tyrone says it's guaranteed money, and the Steelers will have no choice but demand what he won't let our best player leave. Same thing with TJ. I do want to say what's up right here to Destin Wright. Welcome. He says Steelers for Jonathan. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Welcome to the terrible board. To Destin, welcome.
Welcome.
Jamal, my man, he says trade JPJ. Let's go here. Shaking my head, Jamal. That, of course, was Tyrone. Ty says, just fucking with you, brother. And then also JPJ for life. Life in Detroit. Mark Malone says, Detroit what? Detroit what? Yeah, baby. Detroit what? Let's go here. Jamal. Jamal says, laugh my fucking ass off. He conveniently left. I just died laughing. Just wanted to hear you say it, Ryan. And finally, I do want to say what's up to Lindsay. Always great seeing Lindsay from right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hope things are going for you, sister. Good for you, sister. I know that you have birthdays coming up next month. All kind of things for Lindsay. Always great having you on the Terrible Borders. We were just a month away from showing up at camp, my training camp in Westmoreland County, just 1 month from today. If you can believe that.
Wait. It needs, like I keep saying, it needs to get here. I'm going insane.
I am too. And you know what? I gotta be honest though, Mike. It did go fast. It isn't like this is an off season that drug along. It was very eventful, if you will. So that helps a lot too. And again, our pros, our other teams, our low pros, everything is keeping us busy here in Pittsburgh. So again, no complaints. I'm just really ready to get back at it. Let's go here to the original Yinzer Joe Tortilla. This show runs on Dum Yinzers. Absolutely. And the biggest here are Ryan and Mike. We appreciate that. That is a compliment. That is a compliment.
I take it as a compliment, baby.
Jamal, Lindsay exchanging pleasantries. Jamal says, "This Ryan of Vanilla Thunder, the goats of the Steelers media gang. We appreciate you, man. That means a lot to us. So thank you." Lindsay says, "Jamal, can I say it? Can I say it, Jamal Tortilla?" Guys, all kind of stuff getting ready to go on today. One thing before we do get started, Mike, on this 76th day to kickoff, which is, I'm going to go Chris Hoke. This is my Chris Hoke day. Of course, the backup nose tackle on those early 2000s teams that won Super Bowls playing behind Big Snacks Casey Hampton. This is Chris Hoke days till the kickoff, till the Steelers and Atlanta Falcons kickoff in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In September, Mike. So 76 more days. And finally, here's just a quick question. It has nothing bad to do. It has nothing to do with the Steelers, but I just a quick question. I seen over the weekend here that OJ isn't going to be added to the Hall of Honor in Buffalo. See, now this is I get torn here as a person, because at the end of the day, you're recognizing their athletes' accomplishments in sports, and that's why you're there. You're only going to the football game to watch football. Yes, there was a murder charge. Yes, there was a conviction. Yes, there was this. Yes, there was that. And and this spreads across the board for me. This is Pete Rose. This is O.J. Simpson. Now, even talking about Brendan Sorsby a little bit, Mike. How lenient would you be? Because at the end of the day, to not recognize them for what they did for the sport, especially guys like OJ, especially guys like Pete Rose, who've done great things. Yes, they had unfortunate things that happened and they got in a little bit of trouble. But at the end of the day, should you not recognize what they accomplished in the sport?
Yeah.
See, I'm torn. It's torn. Because it's a tough question.
Because hey, they did this great thing in sports, but the murders or the alleged murders, right? He's a great guy, but what about the murders? What murders? That type of thing, like it is too. Like, hey, great player. You kind of put it on the plaque. Hey, he was a great Buffalo Bills player, human being. He was allegedly involved in some shit that was found civilly liable for. It is tough because you don't want to erase the history, but you don't want to promote them and see you're honoring them.
Right.
Well, but also at the same time, you got to recognize
because it happened.
It happened. It's part of their legacy. It's part of what everyone's going to think about when you talk about them. So and they're going to talk about them like, oh yeah, they killed these people, but hey, wasn't he a running back? Yeah. Right. So it's always going to be tied together. It's a tricky thing, and sometimes it might be better just to err on the side of caution and be like, we're just going to exclude them because it's one of those weird things because a lot of people will be like, oh, you don't care about this stuff that happened. Like, no, we care about it. Other people are like, oh, so they only you care about it, but you're going to promote them. It becomes a weird thing. Like you said, man, it's a weird spot to land in.
And if it wasn't so mainstream in sports, I mean, this is O.J. Simpson. I mean, he wasn't just a ball player. He went on to have a movie career, very popular man. Pete Rose, again, wasn't just a baseball player. He had more hits than anybody in the entire history of baseball. You look at guys like Barry Bonds, with the steroid scandal. He has more home runs than anybody in the history of home runs. So at the end of the day, this is where I'm torn, because these people's accomplishments were fantastic. They're things that nobody's ever done.
Yeah,
in their sports. And again, OJ certainly in that category as well for me. And again, I don't know. Whatever they decide to do in Buffalo, that's their thing. But at the end of the day, it's always been tricky for me because I like sports, and I
Yeah.
do recognize these people for what they accomplish in sports. And anything outside, I don't know. It's a tricky line. I acknowledge it, but again, Buffalo choosing to not add OJ Simpson back to the Hall of Honor in their new stadium in Buffalo. So. Um, I don't know. Maybe that'll create a new curse up in Buffalo, and they could stop beating us in the regular season and go back to being terrible as they always were. Perhaps. Who knows?
I'll take that.
Let's get back to the board. I see some new faces hopping in. I do want to say what's up to everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be coming in from. Let's get a couple more of these in here. Let's go to Lindsay. She says, we traded for Jonathan Taylor. How creepy. Isn't this? How wild with the scoop in the news this offseason. Jamal, my brother at Tortilla. It is not a bad word, of course not. It's just it's a respect thing for me, obviously. Lindsay says trading. The original OG says it's Troy Fatanu days. It is Troy Fatanu day, guys. Yes, again, 76 days. Nice one. Tater, what's up? You know what? Even Tater feels a little less obnoxious, Mike, as we get closer to the 1000th show. Just kidding, Tater. You're not too obnoxious, but welcome to the show.
Yeah, very obnoxious. I mean, welcome back.
Tortilla says it's a popularity contest. Who's more popular than the town felon? Robert, welcome back to the show. Always great to see Robert. He said the Steelers have a great running back room now. What the fuck would they even think of trading Taylor? The media is full of dumbasses, and we do have a lot about this today. Mike, we're going to talk about some of our rooms. We're going to talk about how well we're looking. We're going to talk about maybe things in the future. So a lot of stuff today. Hang around. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Can't promote the legacy of Simpson. If you do, then we need to let AB in, which I'm not against. Call me crazy, but I'm just not against it. At the end of the day, is a football player. He was one of the best. So can he not get? I mean, I don't know. It's a tightrope, Mike.
It is. Like AB didn't kill anyone, allegedly. Like OJ did allegedly. So it is tightrope. It is tightrope.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go right here to Joey says you can keep them in the record books, but I wouldn't goat them. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says if they are dead, then who cares? Let them in. If alive, nah. You know what? That's not a bad. I thought of that in the past too. Pete Rose dead, put him in. OJ's dead. They're not celebrating. But their work was done. It was accomplished. How can you ignore the work? 2490 Tyrone all day, big baby. Jamal, high vibrations going out to my people. Love y'all guys, man. We love you too, man. Hope that you're having. I like I said, I could just imagine how cold it is or how hot it is in Texas. So I'm feeling for you because again, we are up over. We're about 85 right now, Mike, and it's supposed to be the hottest week so far this summer.
Yeah, it's going to be supposed to be very unbearable coming up soon, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I could tell you're running around the studio with fans and air. I've never seen anything like it. Mike's got air conditioners, fans everywhere.
The studio down here is, to put this delicately, in the summer months, it's like being at a death camp. The heat wise, it is unbearable. It is ungodly. It is unfathomable. So I moved a portable AC unit down here. Then I go upstairs, kind of drop the air down up there, and I have fans going. So it's like, okay, now I got to figure out something up there. I'm going fucking crazy. The heat's driving me nuts.
I could tell. Let's go here to Robert. Robert says, I dated a girl back in the 80s that graduated with Ronald Goldman, who was murdered by OJ. Of course, Ronald Goldman.
Holy shit.
That is wild, man. I just seen something about his sister or something. I was scrolling the other day. There was an interview with his Ronald Goldman's sister. Jamal, he says, love you, my brother, Ryan. You already know. Kindred spirits, Broham, of course. Always my friend, my brother. Hope the best for you, sir. Lindsay says 90-20 foe. Tortilla says gang, 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 says Jamal. And then finally, Mike sweating in cracks he didn't even know he had, laughing my ass off.
Oh, I knew I had those cracks. I just didn't know I had sweat glands there, brother.
And finally, Tyrone says, I took my dog to the park yesterday. It was like 90. I'm over sweating, dying, running around, living his best life. That's awesome. Good for the pup. But it's tough for us humans. And then usually right around we start getting used to it at the end of August, it's starting to get cold again. So I don't even try anymore. You just got to live every day like you can. Guys, let's get into some stuff, shall we? Yeah, let's get into some stuff. Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what? Let me. So on the board, of course, just learning he did win the coin toss today. So let me just kind of randomly take somebody here because he did. You know what? I'm gonna take Lindsay just because she was the last one that commented right on the top. I like the heat. I can't do the cold. And you know what? That's not in a sexist way, but that's usually the way that it goes. Women are generally just colder. I've noticed through my life. Guys, we're sweating and they're usually cold no matter what. But Lindsay, if you want to flip the coin, call the coin toss. Dave, just call heads or tails. If you get it correct, you could choose offense or defense to start the show. The viewer, will dictate the way the show goes. I love the idea of this, Lindsay. So whenever you get a moment, just throw out a heads or a tails for me. We'll flip the coin. We'll go from there. We'll see if we're getting the ball first, or we'll see if we're kicking it away. Lindsay says heads. Mike, let's see if somebody can get the coin toss correct for the first time. This is the fourth day doing this, and it has not been guessed correctly yet. There's any funny business going on. It's just what's happening. Lindsay says yeah, heads. So let's see how it goes. And it is tails. What's the chances? What is the chances? So Lindsay, I am going to choose.
Rigged.
It's rigged. It's got to be rigged. Again, 4 days. Who's going to be the first one to break this? I don't know. So I'm going to make the call today. Let me take a quick look at what's going on. Let's start with the offense, Mike. I think there's some interesting things going on with this offense. Some off-season stories, some things going on. It's rigged. It's got to be rigged. Since Las Vegas got involved is when this has all gone downhill.
Exactly.
Ty, you did call it. Oh, no, heads again. And Joe, can you believe it? I don't know what the hell's going on. Tyrone said, should have picked me, shaking my head. You know what? That is on the front of my, right on my frontal, what is this called this year? Your frontal lobe. I got that in mind. Next time we do get to pass it on to somebody, Tyrone, you will be the man. Robert says, it should be illegal for it to get above 75 degrees.
Game ball. You get my game ball.
Game ball. Let's talk about some Steelers offense, guys. Let's go right here. Right here. All right, Mike. This is from Nate Tice. Nate Tice from Yahoo Sports. Steelers roster's pretty good, but believes Aaron Rodgers will hold them back. I swear to God, they must reserve summertime for the dumbest takes and statements to be. Aaron Rodgers is going to hold the Steelers back, is what this reporter is saying, Mike. The roster looks good, playing pretty good, which I think you're going to find interesting with something else that's going to come along later, because it totally contradicts what's being said in this particular report. So it just kind of goes to show you where things get crazy in the offseason, Mike. Again, Nate Tice of Yahoo Sports reporting Steelers roster looks pretty good, but believes Aaron Rodgers will hold them back.
I agree with part of that. I agree the roster's looking really good.
Absolutely.
And how Rodgers is going to hold them back, I don't know. When he was like the conductor last year, when we didn't have a whole lot going on, when he was just finding ways to get the ball to Kenny Gainwell, letting him do things and taking and picking spots with DK Metcalf. Like now you've got Pittman Jr. on the opposite side. Now you're going to have more of Freiermuth and more of Mount Washington working together. You got Rico Dwaddle. Now you have a better 1-2 punch at the running back position. Jeremy Bernard, he's looking like he's going to be a really good productive rookie. And then you bring in the Mike McCarthy offense. That fits what Aaron Rodgers can do. Get rid of the ball quick, identify the open target, and let those guys do the thing and do their thing. So how he's going to hold them back, I don't know. Like the only way he would hold them back is if that line sucks and he's under so much pressure he can't, extend the play. But that's all I'm seeing out of Aaron Rodgers. The way he would hold them back is if that O-line shits the bed and he's under constant pressure.
Let me ask you this, Mike. If the O-line gels together like a lot of people hope they do, and again, I do have some more stuff here on the offensive line we're going to talk about just shortly. But again, let's just say the offensive line takes a little while to gel. Like this is a whole different side from where these guys started last year. And again,
Yeah.
a bunch of new guys and people that weren't starting also in the line. So let's just say it takes a little while to gel, and Aaron has to get that ball out fast. Do you think that would be beneficial if he would carry that over, Mike? Let's just say that the offensive line does start gelling for him, and it does start holding their own. They start holding their own. Do you think it would be beneficial to keep on the quick release for Aaron Rodgers, just for the sake of getting the ball out quick to keep defenses on their heels?
I do. I think if he can get the ball out quick, let the playmakers do what they want to do. Limit the time you're going to have to, limit the time you're going to expose your offensive line, as they're still gelling. But don't be afraid to take the shots when warranted. Don't be afraid to play the intermediate routes. But if the quick passing offense, man, get the ball out of your hands, take what the defense is giving you, it's gonna work, man. I think Stafford had another quick release too, like getting the ball out of his hand. Let the playmakers do their job, and he won league MVP. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Now, if you're just going to take the check downs and the dink and dunk stuff and not take those intermediate routes, then it becomes a problem. But if you're doing the quick strikes, but they're intermediate, you're hitting the middle of the field and the medium depth, that's going to force the defense to maybe, change up a little bit. That was going to help you to hit shorter routes and even the deeper routes too, because they're having to adjust to what you're doing in a positive manner instead of everyone knowing, hey, they're just going to check down, so everyone plays down, and then that's going to clog up the middle of the field. That's going to clog up the run game. But it's just how or where on the field they're throwing when he throws quick. You know what I mean? If they're just everyone knows they're just going to throw outside and behind the line of scrimmage, they're going to game plan for that. And it's going to be like we saw last year. But if he's starting to spread the ball out middle of the field, intermediate route, shit like that, the defense isn't going to know what's coming at them. And then it will be to our advantage to keep the short passing game going, keep that rhythm alive.
And I agree, Mike. I think that it's beneficial to stay within, and he's generally always had a quick release, and again, it plays to his advantage. And now you have weapons. Why not use that to your advantage? Before it was out of necessity and out of survival. Now you could use the quick release to your benefit. And as far as the comment saying is Aaron Rodgers is going to hold this team back, Mike, I would rather have Aaron Rodgers. This is where we need to be right now. This is the best opportunity that we have to win football games right now. We could have not signed him and promoted Rudolph or brought up one of the young kids. That just wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to happen. For where we are right now, Aaron Rodgers is the best situation for this team. And again, at the end of the day, it could be a lot worse. We're going to do better than other teams do. There's no two ways about it, Mike. And at the end of the day, as I said, it's just where we are right now. Like it, don't like it. It's going to be done soon. Let's make a run with a guy who's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, a guy who's won multiple MVPs. You know what? The Ravens guy won multiple MVPs too, and they think high of that guy. So again, at the end of the day, I think for what it is, Mike, these off-season topics are just I love them, and I don't know why. It's like the Inquirer. I can't pull my eyes off them. Because the takes are so outrageous, but we have a handful of them today. We're going to get through a lot of stuff. Mike, now this here is what this is another person. This is CBS's Emory Hunt. He argues the Steelers. Now get this. Sit down. That's right. You better sit down. Emory Hunt from CBS reports this, Mike. He argues that the Steelers have the best quarterback room in the AFC. So if you're a Yahoo, you're thinking, oh no, this is not going to be a good year. Then you slip over to CBS and you're like, oh wait, we have the best quarterback room in the AFC, which I think is a little again, that's debatable. Mike, CBS Emory Hunt argues Steelers have the third best quarterback room in the AFC. I'm sorry,
third best.
Yes, sir.
Third best. Okay, I love being the Steelers. I like maybe some of the potential these young guys had to see what they can get. I like Aaron, but all that together for me, the top three in the AFC, that's a bit much for me. But I will fucking take it, brother. I will take whatever you're smoking and drinking. Sign me up. I think third best might be a bit high.
Well, and Mike, the teams that they have in front of us. Now, get this. You're probably thinking, who? Kansas City with Mahomes? Are we talking Josh Allen and Buffalo, Baltimore even? Mike, the two teams they have ahead of us in this particular article are the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos, the two teams that played in the AFC Championship. But I certainly didn't think quarterbacks was the strength. Certainly with the injury, of course, to Bo Nixon, the Denver Broncos was a different story. But at the end of the day, Mike, this is what Emory Hunt Emery Hunt is saying he argues the Steelers have the third best quarterback room in the AFC, only behind the Patriots
and the Broncos.
You know what? It's actually Baltimore. I'm sorry, I was reading wrong. I read the
Patriots and Baltimore.
Patriots and Baltimore.
I don't even know who Lamar's backup is.
I don't either.
You can argue like KC, you're Mahomes and Justin Fields, but he still can make some plays, and that would be better than our room. That's because Mahomes right now is so much better than Rodgers is, because Rodgers at the twilight of his career. I don't see how we get up 3, but I don't see how the Patriots up there, because their backup is not that good. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, who was their backup? Come on, they just, I don't know. They've gone through the Bailey Zappies and the I don't know. I just never figure out New England, but somehow they find a way to stay consistent. So again, just the contrast why I grabbed those two, Mike, because again, one person, the quarterback's going to be the big problem. The other person says not only the quarterback's not the problem, the whole quarterback room is one of the best in the AFC again. So it's again offseason. You gotta love it. Let's. Any more comments on that? I'm going to jump back on the board.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
This is just mind blown, brother.
No, it is. It's incredible. Let's get back here to. Okay, here we go. Some new faces. I do want to say what's up to everybody coming in. Let's go right here. It says, Yinzer Joe, check that coin, Ryan. Is it a double-headed coin? Is it a double-headed coin? It is not. It's just a plain old nickel. Let's go here to Lindsay. Lindsay says, BS, man. Also, Tortilla says, Art Rooney controls the weather. That's why he's trading JPJ, because the grass is shit. Let's go here to Robert. Always great seeing Robert drinking ice cold beer now. It helps. Good, man. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy that beer, huh? You deserve it, man. Enjoy the cold beer. Corey, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Corey. He says this, don't drink that. Hey, guys, how we doing today? God, I'm late. Nah, you're good, dude. I always say better late than never. And I also do want to say this. Go check out Corey. I think he has new stuff coming out today about 4 o'clock. So if you love the conspiracies, you love everything that it brings like I do, go check Corey out right here on YouTube at Don't Drink That right here on YouTube. Go check him out. New one out today, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of content, too. You're going to find something that you like. If you're into conspiracy theories, I do want to say, my man, what's up? Always great seeing Kevin. He says Rodgers will not hold them back. I agree. I think Rodgers is going to be a big part of this team moving forward, at least this year. If you think of the options, Mike, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, Mason Rudolph is questionable at best. Yes, he's he's been a backup here. He's familiar with everything. And again, he's been around the league. I mean, he's been around for X amount of years, but at the end of the day, what you get with Aaron Rodgers on a bad day is probably, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's what's going on right now. And I don't think there was a better situation for the Steelers than what we have going for us this particular year.
Yeah. I like the quarterback room that we have. It made sense to go with the veteran quarterback, the one who was here last year. Now you have a coach and a coaching staff in a system he's familiar with. And not even that too, but also the verbiage and stuff like that. And it's going to help him so much more, changing those plays at the line of scrimmage, seeing something, getting to his alerts faster. It's only going to make the team better and him better. I'm looking for a good year out of him.
Mike, this person here, and it's gonna lead into the offense. So bear with me. Mm-hmm. ESPN's Kevin Clark, Mike, he says he ripped the Steelers odds of 60-1. To win the Super Bowl. He says 65-1. What are we doing? He thinks the odds are laughable, Mike. He says this team has just as good a chance as anybody else from the AFC this year. Is this, again, getting somebody from outside Pittsburgh's take is always crazy. You never know what you're going to get, Mike. Some people have us having our starting quarterback being a problem. Other people have our backup quarterbacks being the best room in the AFC. This particular gentleman, Mike, thinks it's laughable that the odds are so bad for the Steelers to be a Super Bowl contender, considering everything else that's going on in the AFC. Of course, Mahomes with his down year, who knows what you're going to get from him. You have an improving Raiders team. You have a lot of different pieces moving around in the AFC, Mike. Is he wrong or is he right? Is it laughable to say the Steelers are 60-1 odds to go to the Super Bowl, considering the rest of the poll?
Yeah, I think it is laughable. Do I think we're heavy Super Bowl favorites? No, but it's dominoes start to fall a certain way. I can see the Steelers if they play up to the potential that we think they can, if they improve off of last year's 10-7, the new signings, the new additions, the new coaching staff, you're assuming that's going to take them up another level because they got a lot of good young players on this team that are ready to break out. If a lot of things happen right, just on this team alone, they're going to be dangerous. Now, then, if you, like you said, if certain teams regress and some other up and coming teams that aren't quite ready yet take a small little step forward too, and knock out those teams that are regressing, the Steelers could be sitting in a really good spot to do some damage. So yeah, if they would win the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it came out of nowhere. Like, oh man, it's probably like a year or two early for them. But it's not outside of the realm of possibilities because this team has been slept on for years, and they haven't like done as bad as anyone thought they were supposed to be, especially last year, especially one of the worst teams in the league. And they proved like, hey, we're still a division winner while trying to figure shit out. And now all the changes, positive changes that just happened, this team should be seen as a dangerous dark horse.
Now, in the same breath, Mike, the same person that this Kevin Clark that that did have this art, that have this, and I agree with him 100%. I think it's laughable that the Steelers odds are 60-1. And then again, to put the Ravens, a team that I don't know what their odds are, but I know they are higher than a better chance than we have. And again, this is a team that we beat 10 of the last 11 times playing them in the regular season. So again, it's more entertaining than anything to me. But this Kevin Clark of ESPN, Mike, he also makes the same this statement as well. Mike, he says, I didn't think it was a scheme thing last year. He says, I seen Arthur Smith forcing Aaron Rodgers to throw the shortest passes at a historic pace. Mike, I think that could kind of be something here too. I'm very excited about the offensive coordinator. I'm very excited about what the new offensive-minded coach is doing. But my question is, Mike, will Aaron Rodgers be able to keep up with this kind of workload? Because a lot of people were saying last year when he was throwing all these short passes, under 5-yard passes at a historic rate, he just don't have it anymore. This is what Aaron has. And again, we were like, well, just get him some weapons, and we'll see. Mike, he has the weapons this year. He has the offensive coordinator this year. Will Aaron Rodgers be able to keep up with, keep pace here, at 43 years old in this season? Is he going to be able to be that piece that we have been talking about, that we think that he's right for the job now? Can he keep up with all those changes? Because again, last year we weren't sure that he was throwing the ball past the 5-yard line because he just didn't have it anymore or whatever. Now he has the opportunity. Will he be able to shine in that situation?
I think so, and I think it was the scheme. I think it was the play calling, and I think it was the personnel that forced the Steelers to play a very, very conservative offense last year, of dink and dunk offense, because you really only had the one true receiver. No one being Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin stepped up to be the true outside threat to take pressure off of DK Metcalf. Now you have someone to do that. Now you have like Jeremy and Roman settling into the 3 and 4 spot where they kind of belong. This offensive line, we at least know 3/5 of that offensive line is going to take a huge step forward, because they haven't shown any reason why we shouldn't expect those three to take a step forward. That right side might be a little shaky, but you can kind of scheme and work around that shit. So I think we're going to see one last really good year out of Aaron Rodgers. Do I think it's going to be an MVP level year? No, but I think it's going to be a much improved off of last year. And if those numbers take a nice jump up from last year, we're going to be sitting in a really good spot.
Because again, Mike, despite having everything against our last year with the offensive line and with the wide receiver or the lack thereof at that position, Mike, we managed to win the division and go 10-7 and make the playoffs. So in theory, we should continue to be able to be successful. But again, this is why they play the game, and it's going to be, if he can have that one last great season, as you mentioned, we're all going to be smiling. So we should be heading into January, getting ready for January ball, perhaps making a little bit of headway once we get there. So hopefully, obviously the best case scenario for us Steeler fans is that he has a great season. And again, Mike, in order to manage 10-7 with all the issues we had, Arthur Smith One wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you would figure, in theory, things should continue to improve and get better for the Steelers and Mr. Rogers and, again, our offense. So let's get back to the board. Any more comments on that, Mike, before I do get back to the board?
No, man. I just think this offense is going to surprise a whole hell of a lot of people who have not been
I agree.
have not been paying attention. My God, I'm so tongue tied today.
And it's always a fun thing about being a Steeler fan, Mike, because the Steelers are winners. Any way you slice it. You know, complain about not winning a playoff game in the last 10 years. The team won. The team won a lot of football games.
Yeah.
You know, despite
it's not pretty, but they won.
That's what I'm saying. So I think people always are a little bit surprised. Everyone always seems to doubt the Steelers, but again, I think this is more of a cultural thing for whatever reason, as we all complain about the Yankees and all these other great teams in their sport. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how we could just disprove everything once again and prove them all wrong heading into this 2026 campaign. Let's get back to Tyrone on the board. Best roster since 2018. I just need A-Rod to throw more deep shots in middle of the field and audible to the right plays if O-line can protect them. We are cooking with gas. Absolutely. Let's go to Mark Malone. He says Rodgers overcame the Tomlin albatross to have a pretty decent season last year. This one will be significantly better. Let's go to Squeege. Always great seeing Squeege on the terrible board. My man, hope things are going well for you. Summer's kicking off, and we're just 1 month away right now. 1 month away from the first day of training camp, if you can believe that. Squeege says this: I love having A-Rod as a quarterback. Yes, he's aged and past his prime, but overall I feel he helps the team learn and gives them a quarterback that clearly wants to win and brings a certain life back to the team. I agree. Squeege says, just my opinion, which is no, you're right. I agree with you 100%. Actually, I don't. This is the best situation we could be in this year. I don't know if we could have went out this offseason and did anything that was logical just yet that could have put us in a better position. So we'll take it. We'll see what we could do. Let's go to A-Rod. Or I'm sorry, let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says A-Rod is the GOAT. Let's go here to Lindsay. I think A-Rod, I think he will be fine as well. Corey says, what's up, Lindsay? Hope you're having a good one. Let's go to Ty. He says, Squeege, agree. And A-Rod still played above average last year with the weakest wide receiver core I've ever seen. And Smith was our offensive coordinator. Offense will be much better with McCarthy. Let's go, Lindsay. I am. Thank you. And you as well. Tortilla says Rodgers throwing 38. What did he have last year, Mike? 24?
I think 27, maybe.
27?
I'll go look up his stats.
Yeah, we'll take 38. Shit. Hell yeah, Tortilla. Yinzer Joe, he says this. While Mike's looking that up, he says, I don't think it was a matter of being afraid of throwing deep balls. He was playing smart with the check down because DK was double covered. See, I think the midget was playing scared with the deep ball. The year before, Russell Wilson. I don't think he has it anymore with Russell Wilson. So I think that it's not out of the question to be able to see this with Aaron Rodgers, guys, going down the field, throwing in the middle of the field. I just think that the Russell Wilson thing was a Russell Wilson thing, which you also seen when he left here and a little bit before he came here as well. So again, not upset with this Aaron Rodgers situation, as I was one of the people that said it was going to be a circus, Mike, over a year ago when he first arrived. But you know what? It was never really a circus. As a matter of fact, I've kind of enjoyed this experience, this whole A-Rod ride.
He 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I got those two numbers mixed up. I thought it was 20. I thought it was 27-4 instead of 24-7.
Gotcha. Lindsay says this. Agree, Yinzer. Let's drop down here. Tyrone says 35, 7, 4,000. Number 8 is the GOAT. Tyrone also says CBS smoking up on that good shit. Not gonna lie, you ain't kidding, man. Let's go. Corey says maybe in the AFL. In the AFL, that would be a good quarterback room. Squeege said, I also feel that we as fans need to be better. Yes, things get very stagnant or frustrating, but we are going into this year. We cannot relentlessly boo everything. I agree. It's too early. And you know what? I'm a boo bird, so I'm all for the booing. I just say give it time, like everything else, and see if it works out. And if it doesn't, we'll boo them the hell out of here and get somebody else who we think can. And I'm expecting success this year personally. Yinzer Joe says Emery must herd the UFL. Of course, going back to the Emery Hunt comment, let's go here to Squeege. Let's see how these new coaches and players or let's show, I'm sorry, these new coaches and players the blueprint of Steeler fandom. Absolutely, babe. We got to do our job. You know that. And I think it's going to take some really shitty stuff before we start booing this year. I think things are going to be pretty bad, Mike. If listen, I don't roll it out. Believe me, Pittsburgh fans will boo anything. But at the end of the day, I think there will be some leeway, and I think again, you're gonna find yourself in some trouble as a fan if you're already jumping on this guy and his assistants and his coach. Because what do you want? What do we want as fans? We're supposed to go out and get a new coach next year, and then the next year, and then the next year. So again, I think it will require some patience from us as the fans at the end of the day.
Like, I still remember fans complaining for the longest time. Oh, we need to modernize. We need to pass the ball more. Ben A.B. Bell. Oh, we need to run the ball more. What are we doing? It's 3 yards, cloud of dust, and defense. We are never happy as a fan base, brother.
Never. That's what I'm saying.
Like whatever, we will say one thing, and then we do it, and then we will bitch that they're doing it, and they didn't do it the old way because that's the Steeler way. Damn it!
Yes,
we are the biggest hypocrites in sports, and I'm right there with them.
You know what though? To the victor go the spoils. So if you any way that you have to if it takes being a hypocrite sometimes, it just is what it is because, at the end of the day, Mike, we haven't won a playoff game in 10 years, but again, we still won more Super Bowls than everybody else. It sounds crazy. It sounds total polar opposites, but you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes.
And like what, third or like second in winning percentage?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, we are spoiled, but at the same time, it's been a while since we won a playoff game.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's, yes and no and no and yes at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like you can make the argument either way for us, but our bad times are still some teams' most successful.
You're right. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals would love to have one of our average seasons,
dude. Like these last 10 years, where we were bemoaning the fact we haven't won a playoff game, but we never lost. Teams would be like, "Oh my god, this is the best right here, man! I can die happy."
And I do want to make this point, guys. I mentioned earlier I was watching that game on YouTube between the Steelers and the Bengals that I was at back in 1990. And even the great Chuck Noll, Mike, as we continue to make this point, was stale. He had a pretty damn good team out there. I was watching, the top 10, number 9 overall pick running back in Tim Worley. I was watching, they had Eric Green, 285 at that particular time, was a pretty damn big tight end. Lewis Lips, Mike, the whole way down the line. Dermonti Dawson, Rod Woodson, David Little, the whole way down the line. And for this team to still just be barely a little better than average, it happens. And unfortunately, it happens. And unfortunately, and I believe this is the same exact case. And, I'm reading some of the comments and somebody says, this is the great Chuck Noll. I mean, he's human, just like Coach T and just like Coach Cow and everybody else. At the end of the day, Mike, it got very stale, and it was frustrating to watch because, again, there's so much talent. Even Bubby, he catches a lot of crap for being Bubby, but Bubby threw a 75-yard ball that was very effortless looking. You just sometimes things get stale, and believe me, I'm sure nobody wanted Chuck Noll to be done when he was done, but it's just not best for the team. And I look forward to the new chapter and hope that our new coach, Coach Matt, can get things done because, again, Mike, getting that beginning energy is always something that you could build off as well. I mean, you see in other sports, you see new coaches coming in, especially in hockey. We talk about sometimes a coach comes in with that momentum of being the new coach and really being able to take the team and mold it into yours. I hope we could see that, and I hope we could see the benefits of that. And again, some success in January.
Hopefully, it's this year we get a shit ton of success in January because, like I said, man, we're very, very close.
Absolutely,
you can feel it. This team's ready to explode, and I think the coaching change is what's going to get us there.
I hope you're right, sir. And then also all the additions as well. So hopefully that all gets us there. Let's go here to Squeegee. He says, go Steelers. That's right, big dog. All caps, just the way I like it. He says, go Steelers. That's let's go Steelers. Lindsay says, yes, it is. Lindsay also says, can we please get rid of Mason Rudolph already? I'm right there with you. Listen, I'm kind of past the point where he's been here for a while. I'm just kind of past that with him. I don't know. It's almost like his time, almost the same thing, almost like his time has came and went. That's just me personally. At some point, I think we have to move on as a quarterback room, as a team. He's not really going to pan out to be much, like even as a reliever, as a backup comes in last year and loses his start. So again, at the end of the day, if you're going to get backups who don't get it done all the time. Maybe go with the younger guy and see if he could turn into something. Because again, at this point, Mike, you know what Mason Rudolph is going to be. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you know what he's going to be at this point in his career. There's no surprises beyond here, I don't think.
No, there's going to be no sudden growth and development out of him. He is what he is at this point. But I'm all about keeping Mason Rudolph because I love watching the people freak out about Mason Rudolph. It's one of my joys in life.
You just like number two.
I just love watching everyone freak out about Mason Rudolph. It makes me chuckle and giggle because I have seen worse backup quarterbacks in my time.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen a lot worse.
So like for me, Mason Rudolph coming in, it's like I've seen worse.
And as a matter of fact, to see guys that are backups nowadays, it's actually a joy because back in the olden days, when I was a kid, backups stunk. I mean, they stunk. I mean, they'd go to throw a ball and it's flying off their fingertips and flying into the air. I mean, it was rough.
Dude, some of these backups today, including Mason back in the 80s, they would be damn good quarterbacks. I don't think they would be franchise guys, but they would be like, oh, we got this guy. We're going to win some games.
Taysom Hill could have probably done great things back in the 80s. I mean, there's let's go right here. Let's go to Ty. He says, deadass, we will, after preseason, Lindsay, get this value up and wait for team need quarterback too. And that's saying there's going to be people out there that are looking so as well. Let's go here to are you dying? Because if you are, leave the camera on. I cannot miss this.
That liquid hit the back of my throat and I started choking. We might not want to send this video to the gay dating site. I can't handle it.
This video is going straight to the gay dating site today. That's right. As tomorrow does wrap that up, we will have results at the end of the show. You all right there, bro?
Yeah, and that's only water.
Let's go right here to Corey. Corey says this. I'm releasing that's right, the Antichrist deep dive today in the next couple of weeks is a mix of the Great Reset theory and the Illuminati card game ties in. Shit is going to be nice. The next 2 episodes are shorter. I've been loving the latest conspiracy theory scoop from Corey. Do go check him out right here on YouTube and Don't Drink That. Great and a plethora of great content for you. Do go check him out. Let's go here. Yo.
On the tube. Anytime I can say on the tube, I try to sneak it in there. Sorry.
You got to. Let's go here, Mike. Let's go to, I heard Texans are having problems with C.J. Stroud and could be an option for the Steelers next season. What do you guys think? Let's take a moment, guys, as we were right about at halftime. Talk about this, Mike. The Steelers, as you can see on the thumbnail, are being tied to now not only Baker Mayfield after this season, but now C.J. Stroud, now Jonathan Taylor, of course, the running back for the Colts. Mike, does it ever end? And if it does end, let's just say, is C.J. Stroud what we thought he was? Could we benefit being somebody that is being mentioned as a possible landing place for C.J. Stroud after this season? I know a lot of people liked him, but again, like the lack of offense for the Houston Texans as the team continues to improve, certainly defensively, the offense just hasn't really come along under C.J. And I'm not taking anything away from the guy. I think that he's a fantastic quarterback. But Mike, your thoughts?
That rookie year, I thought he was going to be one of the next top 10, top 5 quarterbacks. But a lot of things happened at that time. They totally dismantled that offensive line year after year, stripping parts away, adding pieces, making it worse. And I don't know if it's ever gotten better. But he himself has not gotten better. It does not look like he has worked on his craft to get better. His plays gotten worse. His reads have gotten worse. His throws have gotten worse from what I've seen. I haven't looked at the stats, but just every time I watch him play, that is not the quarterback I watched in that rookie year when he's going up in the playoff game against that really damn good, almost great Browns defense when they were flying around. I think that was the first year, Miles' first defensive player of the year. Well, the pressure rate, they were getting pressure on him. But yet he was just finding the open guy, threading the needle, looking like this cat's going to be one of the next big quarterbacks. And then since then on, man, he's gotten worse and worse every year. That offensive line's gotten worse and worse every year. They got good offensive weapons. I know they got rid of the offensive coordinator that was there his rookie year. I don't know if they surrounded him with the best stuff. And I also don't know if looks like he's put in the work to want to get better as well, too. So I really wouldn't want to take a flyer on him. Like, do we want to? Because you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get him in. He's going to want paid, and I just don't know if the risk of reward and what you'd have to pay him would be worth it to maybe continue to develop these two young guys and then still try to maybe, if you have to, get someone in the first round where the cost control is there a whole hell of a lot cheaper, and then you can actually mold them yourselves from the ground up without having to fix what he's done in the pros. Because, like I said, it looks like he's gotten worse every year.
Now, let me ask you, Mike, only because it is on our thumbnail, it's only fair to ask you, what's the story with the Jonathan Taylor talk over the weekend? Somebody mentioned it briefly on the show Friday. We didn't touch on it. Mike, what's this all about?
Dude, it was CBS Sports, and they put up they had a graphic of like 3 logical trades. And one of them was the Steelers trading for Jonathan Taylor. And I don't think it had any of our swapping any running backs, so like draft capitals to get him. Like, so you would have a room of him, Waddle, and Jalen Warren. Like, he's on the last year, I think on the last year of his contract. So you have to assign him to a big contract. He's one of the top 5 running backs in the league, probably. And like, I'd rather run with my 2-headed monster of Waddle and Warren than Jonathan Taylor.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this team is not a running back away on offense. If we had a hole there, okay, now you're talking. We have cap space. We don't have these guys. We got, we got Johnson and Homer and Lou Nichols back there. Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go get it. But we got 2 guys that are, Dwaddle's a 1,000-yard rusher. Last year, Jalen Warren had like one of the best scrimmage yardage from scrimmage in the NFL. He was up there and well over like 1,500 yards total offense. Like, you got playmakers at the running back position. You don't need Jonathan Taylor, because then you'd have to pay him. Then you're going to have to pay your offensive line. You still got to pay Joey Porter Jr. So adding this guy literally makes 0 sense.
With that being said, Mike, it's a very outside of Pittsburgh narrative. If you're following this team as we do, and everybody on the board and Steeler Nation, you know that this isn't even going to happen. I mean, you have Jalen Warren. You just brought over Rico Dowdle, as you mentioned. It's kind of just not going to happen. I don't know what again, you could tell when the take is from outside of the Berg, and they're just kind of basically making blanket statements about teams in their situations. This would be one of them, Mike. Again, I saw this. I was like, hey, you have to put this on the thumbnail. You have to, because it's so ridiculous, Mike. At the end of the day, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, if you're a home improvement fan, I guess, will recognize that name. Like, I don't think he's going to be wearing the black and gold.
No, I'd love to have him, but I love the 2 backs that we have, and you can't afford them anyway. This isn't Madden. You can't go out and get all the all-stars and put them on your team. You actually got to build a team. Like, I like our running back by committee that we have here. I think it's a strong running back room. Just on those top 2 guys alone. Then I want to see what some of these younger guys have as well. Like, no, like, then, it's just more of the national media not actually looking into teams' rosters and the way their offense is going to be ran. Like, I don't think it'd be a good scheme. It's just stupid.
And here at the end of the day, Mike, look, here's everybody's talking about how stupid it is. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're talking about their story.
Yeah.
That's what the national media's job is, again, at the end of the day. So, take it as it's what it's worth. A couple more things here on offense, Mike. Before we do get to the defense today, I'm going to get back on the board here in just a second. Let's throw out something here real quick on the offense, just to keep the offense news going. Darnell Washington looking slim and trim now under the Steelers' new weight rules program. Mike, Darnell Washington now looking slim and trim. I mentioned, Mike, that I seen Eric Green play this morning on YouTube, real early this morning, and he was 285 pounds. I want my Darnell to be as freakish as he possibly can. Yes, I don't want it to screw his athleticism up by pounding on the pounds. But at the end of the day, Mike, he is a freak of nature that it's going to take about 5 guys to tackle in the open field any given chance. Yes, I don't want him to blow up and turn into a nose guard. But at the end of the day, I don't want him to lose so much that he doesn't continue to be that freak player that he is. Give us a year or 2 of just pure Darnell Washington. Let him be him. Get him the ball. See what he could do. Quit playing around. Let the guy play football. I think we won't be disappointed. And you know what? If we are, then you could worry about start losing some of the weight or whatever the situation
Yeah,
is.
like he could have afforded to lose some weight last year. I'm having trouble finding the pictures because I was going to put him up from what he looks like from last year to this year. Because you can lose too much weight and you can lose that power, that strength, that what makes you so much different than
Right.
everyone else. There's a sweet spot, man, for to have the weight at, and I'm just worried, like, are they going to overcorrect it to where he loses too much weight and he loses what made him a freak? Now, if he can lose that weight, gain quickness, but still have that strength, okay, now you got me. If he can be leaner and stronger and quicker, fuck yeah, sign me up. But if he becomes leaner and faster, but he doesn't have that strength, what are we doing here? Because that's kind of what separates him, is that power from everyone else.
That's what separates him from the man from the monsters.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
If you have a monster, why would you
like I said, there's a sweet spot for that weight
Right.
to get the optimum power and optimum athletic, fluidity out of him.
I like it. Fluidity.
Fluidity.
I don't know
Speaking
why.
of fluidity, I gotta go refill my fluidity.
All right, yes, go ahead. I'll catch up on some comments, and then we'll get back to some topics here in a moment. Let's grab I believe it right here. Corey says, "This as I recover from a family vacation." Why does that hit home? As I recover from a family vacation. The storyline to every family vacation ever. But you know what? Put some nice pictures on social media. Everybody will believe it. It's perfect, and that's just the way it is. Let's go here. He said, "I'm sorry." He says this. I'll pick it back up. Note with longer vids in 3 weeks. Hey, you're good, brother. And like I said, you have ample content for me. I go over there and I get lost in the amount of different content, and I really enjoy myself. So do check Corey out once again over. Don't drink that. Lindsay says, "Let his ass go now. I'm not watching him." I think that's about one of the players we just mentioned, Kevin. Kevin says this Rudolph may get cut, traded. In my opinion, it's a very good possibility, Kev. At the end of the day, people are scratching their head trying to figure out what it is we're going to do. What it is we're going to do with this quarterback situation, having 4 of them right now currently on the roster. Always great seeing you, Kevin. Squeech says the media has always hated Pittsburgh. Such success breeds hate and jealousy. And, I agree. And it's true. It's every year. Every year we're reading these same national articles, but every year we end out playing winning football and getting in the division and winning the division and all these other things. So again, I think we as Steeler fans recognize it, but again, everybody else across the land and the world read it and they're like, oh well, yeah, maybe the Steelers aren't going to do this. Just look at the record. Just look at the track record. The Steelers win football games. They just win football games, and at the end of the day, they've won the big one more than anybody else, with the exception of New England winning the same amount. So it's really hard to the victor go the spoils. We will continue to celebrate until somebody passes us. Let's go right here to Corey again. My man says this. Corey Beavers over Don't Drink That says we don't need a top 3 quarterback room. We just need one consistent, reliable, healthy QB. Having 2 really good guys that don't play right now behind him doesn't mean anything other than trade bait. Let's continue down here to Tortilla. Tortilla said, that's crazy. I have us selling 17,000 hot dogs this season, 2,000 per home game at $8 per hot dog. That's 136,000. That should help sign JP. And you know what? I'm in. I like hot dogs. I'll buy a few of them. Still haven't had the super glizzy, though, Mike. I still have not had the super glizzy. Of course, the Paul Skeens hot dog at Sheets.
Oh, no. But earlier, the way I was coughing, you would think I had the super glizzy.
Still stuck in your throat. Hey, it's still that month. So again, Mike, your results will be revealed today. If you like hot dogs and bananas and all the best food, corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Mark Maloney says this Rodgers isn't going to have a problem keeping up. I wouldn't have thought so. So again, I agree with you. Yinzer Joe says this, I can see there being a battle in the North, but it'll be with the Bengals, not the Ravens again, and getting into that playoffs at 10-7, only because of the better competition in the schedule. Corey says this at Tortilla. He says, you and Tyrone are going to get a fucking complex over JPJ. Everything will be okay, guys. He's not going anywhere. He's playing hardball, but he will still be here. Let's go here. Ty says, I ain't worried. I'm not worried about that core. Also, Tortilla says, JPJ is my Pookie Bear. He's my Pookie Bear. Kevin says, I could see the Steelers versus Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, and the Steelers beating them would be sweet after the times they beat us in the playoffs. It sure would. And again, Mike, I wouldn't have agreed for that last year with just the stale system that we were kind of playing. I just didn't want to see the Buffalo Bills or a team like that in the playoffs. Now, we're starting to say, like, can we beat these teams that are higher caliber with an improvement, with the additional players? With, again, Mike, I'm not saying that McCarthy's schemes are better just yet. All I'm saying is it's different, and now people have to look at the way they prepare for the Steelers. You know what I mean?
And I think some of those higher end teams they're starting to fall back to the pack, while teams like us and New England, we're coming up. It looks like there's going to be, like, I don't want to say a changing of the guard, but there's going to be the playing field is getting more and more level, to where you're not going into these games like, oh my God, so much has got to break our way to win. You're going in like, yeah, if we play our game, we have a really good chance of winning this game. Yeah. Whereas before, like, this has to happen, that has to happen, right? And if you're depending on a fucking miracle, now it's like, we can go and we can hang with these guys.
And control the course of the game, make them play your game in a way where a lot of times we were kind of basing off of what other teams were doing because we lacked in certain areas. Now we could be the team that we're dictating the way that things go, and that's a good thing. The ball, putting the ball back in our court, opposed to all those things that you hear. The record against teams that had this record. We never really dictated. We were playing down to a lot of teams. And again, I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. It seems to be the Steeler way, but that goes through coaches and coaches and coaches. So hopefully we see that improvement, Mike. Hopefully we start winning the games that we should win more consistently.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the perfect way to put it. Just winning the games you should win. Yeah. And then, and then pull off one or two upsets, and next thing you know, holy shit, your record's a whole hell of a lot better, and then you're playing a whole hell of a lot better, and you're more confident because, like, oh shit, man, we can win these games. Like, we've proven we can win tight, ugly games. It's like, now can we win those games that we're not supposed to win? That's where this team has to get over the hump, and that's where they've been struck at for like the last 10 years. It feels like.
One more offensive topic, Mike, and we're going to switch sides here. Day one starter at right tackle. Is it going to be Cook? Is it going to be IMAX? Who's going to be the day one starter? We already know, providing there's no injuries, we know Zach is going to be our center. We know the left side of the line, what that's going to look like. Mike, who is your day one right tackle as of right now? Again, we got camp in a month from today, so it isn't like we're talking months and months out of it. I mean, we're in arm's reach now. Mike, who is going to be the day one starter at the right tackle's position?
I'm gonna go with IMAX. I think right now Cook is going to open training camp at it, but everything that you have read and what players have said about IMAX, I think he's going to be the day one starter. I think there's going to be some growing pains early in camp, but I would say by mid camp, he's going to take the bull by the horns and he's going to force his way into that starting lineup. I mean, you can see the athletic ability from like his college film. You're seeing it in some of the stuff that's coming out of OTAs, just how effortlessly he moves. You can see the power that's coming out and the way, some of the guys they were having like trouble handling him in those little blocking drills when they were holding those pads. You can see that like, oh man, this dude is actually strong.
Right.
You're throwing some of these, pros, like you're catching them off guard, how strong and how powerful you are. You get into this, the new weight programs that the Steelers have, and then in the training camp, pads on. I think he's going to excel, especially that latter half of camp. Like I said, I think there's going to be some growing pains. Every player has that for just about every player has that. But I think he's going to end up taking the bull by the horn. By the end of camp, you're going to be like, yeah, this dude's legit.
It's really interesting. And again, everyone's super excited, Mike, about camp being 1 month from today. We know there's a lot of people coming in town for camp, coming from Florida, coming from North Carolina, coming from the other side of Ohio, a bunch of different places, Mike. And again, this is how we're going to all watch it play out. We're going to see the battle for right tackle. We're going to see all kind of battles. So everybody's certainly anticipating that. And again, Mike, we're not way off. We're not months and months and months and months. We are 1 month away from yesterday being the day that the Steelers show up at camp. Mike, that is 1 month ago yesterday. 1 month ago today. From moving forward will be the beginning of camp. Again, the important dates are the show up date is the 28th of July, the 29th being the official start, August 3rd being the official day of first official day of pads. August 8th will be the Saturday Night Lights, and on the 17th, Mike, that is the last day the Steelers will be participating in camp before they break back and head to the Berg and get ready for their season, Mike. So much stuff just around the corner. It is literally just around the corner. Let's get back on the board, and then we're going to break into some defense today, guys. Offense, great stuff today. Let's get to the D. Tyrone says a little bit with this damn front office, but I know that he's Steelers for life. Let's go to Corey. Good because it's unhealthy, and I was starting to worry about you, Tyrone. I'm sorry about that. Let's go to Lindsay. Tyrone, you've been crashing out for real. Let's go. Lindsay says this. She says once every 2 days in the GC, we get fuck Rooney. Also, right here, we go to Tyrone says this. Appreciate. It goes by the day. Noah and RB PMO last week. Laughed my ass off, but overall, I know he will sign. Tortilla says this. If we don't sign JPJ, Ohio is prepared to declare a state of emergency. Let's go here. Ty says, Lindsay, I did no such thing. Lindsay says, yeah, okay. Let's go here. Tortilla, they might have to. Tortilla, Tyrone, 25-7. Squeege says this. Pittsburgh's success has created the oddity we're accustomed to. I tell a lot of Ohio State fans here, if Ohio State made the playoffs every year but was immediately walked out, would you keep the head coach? Very interesting point. And of course, the college is it's a totally different beast. It really is. But a point totally taken, absolutely. Tortilla says Tyrone in heaven 24, where JPJ is with him 24/7. I like the rhyme there. I like the Detroit what? Detroit, baby. Let's go here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says this. Mike, I was arguing with a Ravens fan on Instagram, and he said Minter was proven head coach and brought up what he did in college. I laughed for a good 10 minutes. Said he's better than McCarthy.
What has been true? Like, you can be a damn good college coach. Nick Saban, arguably the greatest college coach of all time, did diddly fucking poo in the NFL. He quit in the middle of the night on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And until you can do it in the NFL, what you did in college means nothing as a player and definitely as a coach, because you go from college, like, you're more or less the dictator. These are kids. They're right. Stuck with you. This is the pros. They make more than you. Most of these guys do, and they're going to look at you like, dude, we're going to be here a whole hell of a lot longer than you probably if things don't go well.
Yeah.
You gotta you can't treat us like kids. Like Chip Kelly was a damn good college coach. Fucking ruined the Eagles for years when he went there.
And Tyrone finishes the thought by saying he never coached a game. Let's see. Lindsay says, we are, Mike. Also, Squeech says this. He says, I fell into the pattern of nonstop booing as seasons became identical. I feel the reason was a lack of playoff wins. The tune would be a lot different if playoff wins were sprinkled. Absolutely. I mean, a decade's a long time to go without a playoff win, especially if you were a fan of a team like the Steelers. It's been weird. So let's hope that we can rebound this season and continue to move forward. Tater in the house, always okay seeing Tater. Just kidding, my man. All the way from Northern Ireland. He does make a point to stop in to say hi. I do got to respect that. Let's go to Lindsay. She says, if we don't win a playoff game this year, the season was a loss, in my opinion. And you know what? A lot of people are going to agree with that, Lindsay. A lot of people are going to certainly agree with that. So, and it's going to be interesting because then after that, we're going to be scratching our heads saying, okay, what's the next step? We didn't win a playoff game. Aaron Rodgers just rode off into the sunset. Now we have to figure out what's next for us. So it's going to be interesting. It's certainly going to be interesting. Let's go here to Corey. Corey says this one. We're going to get to some defense, guys. Let's go to Corey, where he says, my argument is we just need balance. We're always lopsided on both sides of the ball. We can run, but we can't pass. We can pass, but we can't run, which hurts passing against playoff teams. Got peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no burger. I agree. Let's get a little bit more balanced. Tyrone says, agree. I knew it was time. Honestly, Tomlin should have been gone after 2020, after the Browns loss. Squeech says this. He says, every team's fans are different. Charger fans just want to make the playoffs. Steeler fans want to win in the playoffs. It's a product of our history. Absolutely. And other teams, just like us in baseball, Mike, that aren't any good, they just go because they love the Cardinals. They love football, and they know that the Cardinals aren't going to be any good, and they just go because they love it. So, Again, you're right. You're right, Squeech. Let's go Mark Malone. He says, Brisker outdueled Elway. One game. You know what? I think I remember the game, but you know what? That Elway, man, the Broncos were the Bills of the mid to late 80s. And then the Bills became the Bills of the early 90s. It was the same basic idea. They had great regular seasons, and these guys could just not get a Super Bowl win for nothing. Buffalo loses 4 straight. Of course, Denver loses 3 in that period in the late 80s, but to the Giants, Redskins, and the 49ers 55-10. So it's basically the same thing. But I think I remember when you're talking about, and as I said, Mike, I didn't think the Steelers were great at that particular time, but that damn Bobby Brister, he threw that ball 75 yards, and it didn't even look like he tried. It was something else. I forgot all about that. I forgot his arm was that strong.
Just gripping it, ripping it.
And it was like when Tim Worley was with us, he said the same thing. He was like, people say what they said about Bubby, but he just didn't, they underestimated his arm. And I was like, yeah, Bubby's arm. Bro, 75 yards like it was nothing.
He had one of the better arms in that era.
He did. Mike Tomlin, Coach T in the house. Always great seeing Coach T. Coach T says Yin's never heard of silent quitting.
That's also getting one of my game balls.
It sounds like my first.
We got a silent quitting, quiet quitting reference out of Mike Tomlin. I'm happy.
Let's go to Squeege. Agree, Tyrone. I quoted that Tomlin just got out coached by a team that didn't have its head coach present. Tyrone, he follows it up by saying, with this offensive line and wide receiver core plays like we think it can, this is the best year and chance we have to win a playoff game. Certainly in quite a few years, for sure, brother. Tater says Schittsburg nowhere near the playoffs. Didn't you say that last year? Anyway, let's move on. Let's go here to Squeege. He says the players played like dog duty that day too. Looked completely unmotivated. Squeege. I'm sorry, we did get that, Lindsay. Yeah, okay, we definitely will. I know now that Tater says we're not, that means we will. I'm more confident now than I was at the beginning of the show, to be honest.
Yeah, shit, man. I'm ready to buy fucking Super Bowl tickets.
Mark Malone, don't you badmouth Magnum at Lindsay. Yinzer Joey says, yeah, but if we go 10-7 with McCarthy and he has a bigger staff, what was the point? You're right. It's a possibility. It's nothing that we want to think about and certainly speculate at this time, but it's possible. Let's continue. Let's move, get a couple more, and then we're going to get into the defense, guys. Let's go right here to Tyrone. If we go 10-7 and win a playoff game, then I'm cool with it. I got us at 11-6. Mike Tomlin says, what's the point? Coach T saying, what's the point? Lindsay says this, listen, I'm not watching this BS this year. First time you go in, pick, shake my head. Listen, I'm just not watching the BS this year. First time you go in, pick, shake my head. Yeah. Corey says this, anyone remember Chris Redman? Of course. No, well, point proven. Mason Rudolph is serviceable, LOL. Of course, the running back, Chris Redman, Corey's talking about. Let's go here. Mark Malone, remember the straight game of 1987? Do you remember here's one for you I came across this weekend, Mark. And I'm sure you do. 1988, the Fog Bowl. The Bears-Eagles. I remember watching this game as a 10-year-old kid. I remember this. And I remember saying to my friend, why is it so hard to see? And he was an Eagles fan. And it was just crazy, Mike, because you're watching this game and you literally can't see anything that's going on the TV. It was wild. Yeah. And my question is, why hasn't this happened more? It was so extreme. You would think fog like that would at some point over the past 40 years would roam back through Chicago. And
just never did.
Just never did. Maybe in another state, perhaps that'll help. That will happen for them. We will see. Let's go here to Squeege. Squeege says, Tater, if that was evident, you wouldn't feel the need to try to make it apparent. The only reason I see this team not winning its division is if the injury bug runs rampant. I agree. Mike dying. Mike was dying for show. Tyrone says, Tater, San Fran has Ayuk problems. Yeah, they got their own problems out there. Have fun with that. Couple more, and then we're going to get into this defense. Squeege says this, I do want to say I'm glad you two settled your differences. Serves as a good example for those who experience the same. And you know what? We thank you. Thank you for that, Squeege. And this is what I was going to say at the beginning. I thought there would be a good chance to bring this up. And I said the other day on the show, then Mike and I, it's a different relationship off the show. We're like kind of like friends in real life. And, we don't have these arguments like this. It's you turn the lights on, you turn the switch for the go showtime, and things happen that I don't even expect. And sometimes, so at the end of the day, I was wrong. We had one fight, and it was because, and I remember specifically where it was, when it was, who it was, and where we were sitting. It was when Kenny Pickett threw a touchdown, and I'm going crazy, like, yeah, look at Kenny, and Mike was like, oh, he's giving me the shit, and we got into a shouting match. But I got to be honest, outside of that,
that was it.
Off the show, it never gets like that. But you get live, you get emotions, you get out there and going. You never know what happens. But in real life, we kind of pump the brakes a little bit for whatever reason. Works. But we do thank you for that, Squeege. Let's get into some defense, guys. This is time to talk some defense on the show. We talked offense, Mike. Let's get into some things here. So let me grab a couple, and then we're gonna get into JPJ here shortly. Right here, Mike. Let's see. Ray Fittipaldo says the defensive line coach Pecco could be what the Steelers needed, Mike. They needed some kind of spark maybe up front to really push that defensive line to the next level, to get them playing to where you are is you want your defense to look when you're playing winning football, when you're beating teams that you should beat, when you're maybe beating some teams that you shouldn't beat. Mike, do you think that the new coaching, not only Pecco, but just around the defense, will improve the just overall look? Not, we're hearing about the scheme changes. We're hearing about, adding TJ, moving him around. We're hearing about all these different things. As an example, is this Pecco and the guys like him, you think that these guys spark a new spark under the defense? As we talk about, maybe Mike McCarthy does. He just brings that spark, that new guy energy. You get that from Pecco and guys like this that are working with the defensive players.
I do, actually. I liked our old D-line coach. I think he did well with those guys, and they all spoke highly of him. I like Cam, TJ, even some of the younger guys. They always spoke highly of the old D-line coach. But now they're also singing the praises of Pecco. He's bringing something new, a new perspective. So they got the great foundation that they had from the last coach. Now you're going to build on it with what Pecco's going to bring you. I think it's just going to unlock those guys to a new level. And like you said, it's that new energy. And he's coming in with the right attitude. And the players are buying into it. This guy was also a player too. And, well respected. So is the last coach as well. But it's that new. But hey, man, let me learn something new. What new tricks do you have for me? And, when you already have a good foundation, you have someone coming in who knows what they're doing, and they're going to add something new to you. That's awesome to learn and grow your skill set with. And I think it's going to help, man. And we already saw the way Harmon was playing last year. If you can unlock a different level out of him, like I said, he's going to remind you a lot of people of a young Stephon Tuitt and a young Cam Hayward. And the way those two cats played early in their career, I think that's going to be what Derek Harmon's going to be this year. And if we can get Y.A. Black, just him to a different level too. I don't think he's going to be as near as good as Harmon, but if he can just unlock his potential, because we saw it, and we know he has a lot of work to do in his game. But my God, once he figures out his technique, I think he's going to be a really good, solid piece. I don't know if he's ever going to be that dominant piece the way I'm picturing Harmon is, but just like a nice, solid counterbalance to a guy that's going to eat up a lot of blockers. Even if that's all he does is force two guys to him every play, and that's a win. And that's going to free up those backers to be more. And I'm just excited with what Pecco's going to bring this group, and I'm really excited. What's he going to do with someone like Keanu Benton,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
has some
Right.
good pass rush moves. Can he unlock something more out of him? And again, I was like watching film or not film, just highlights last year of like Steelers Ravens, and there's one play where Highsmith and Benton both missed a sack on Lamar Jackson. I'm thinking if one of those guys knew how to wrap up, that game would not have been as close as it was.
Yeah.
And one of those guys who blew in there early was Benton, and he had a chance to wrap him up and couldn't. Like maybe if Petco can like hammer into him to what the old coaching staff did too, because they knew that was his big issue. Maybe a new voice will like he'll take that part of it more serious, but refine his technique in wrapping players up in the backfield. So little things like that, just that new voice to reinforce what you've been told before, it might be what it takes to unlock you.
And as we mentioned before about Keanu Benton, a lot of times he's just been this close. He'll be in the backfield, just as you said, wrapping the guy and finishing the play. So again, different face, different energy, different voice sometimes can go a long way. So we're hoping that is the case with Coach Pecco and the other assistant coaches that have been assembled. Mike, let's talk about Joey Porter Jr. I know everybody's been waiting to talk about this. Joey Porter Jr. Now, this is to me why it's tricky, and this is what I picked up. So on one hand, you give your backup outside linebacker a nice payday. It puts him at about $25 million. Talking about Nick Herbig. So the people that argue this, I would say, well, okay, you just gave your backup edge rusher $26 million. How can your number one cornerback, who again, it's arguable, Mike, where he falls, if he falls top 5, top 10, whatever the case may be. But now you're put in a situation because you're going to have to pay X amount of money because you just gave a backup $26 million. How would you justify giving somebody like Joey Porter a lower amount than that? And I think the second part of the comment is this, Mike, as far as JPJ and his contract situation, we're also waiting to see what goes on with Christian Gonzalez and Devin Witherspoon. So I don't think a lot can be done until we figure out what it is that they're going to be doing as well. So, I mean, we're kind of at a standstill. I think that it's more than, Art Rooney or the Rooney's not wanting to give JPJ the money. It's more than why is this not happening? Why do I have to be patient? At the end of the day, I think that it's tricky. Again, in my opinion, I could be wrong because, again, the way that, again, you just paid a backup outside linebacker this amount of money and also these other top tier corners waiting to see what they get paid. Is it even possible to pay JPJ at the moment that people would think is a fair wage?
I would get him locked in now. Don't worry about those other two, because if they end up making more than Porter, guess what? You just got a bargain.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Because we saw it like.
So don't let it inflate to those. Let those guys inflate it and then get in.
Yeah, because his agent can probably make an argument. Hey, look at all these stats where my guy client lines up, and yeah, you can argue interceptions, but everything else, my guy has better numbers than both of those guys.
Right.
So why should he make less than those? Now you're in a bigger fight. Set the market. We saw this, when we dragged our feet if we wanted to extend Watt or not. And then the Browns went and blew up the market with Myles Garrett. Now we had to blow up the market with TJ Watt. Get your guys early. It's always better to set the market because now, once every corresponding moves happen, your guy's a bargain.
Yeah,
you're looking good. And we know the way Omar Khan structures these contracts that they're not going to. Yeah, you can sign Porter to a 5-6 year deal. It's not going to be a full 5 to 6 year deal.
Right.
It's probably going to be a 3-year deal, and then you can move on after if it doesn't work out.
He has to get paid more than Nick Herbig, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the better player. He's the full-time player.
He's the starter.
He's going up against teams have to game plan for him. Teams right now are not game planning around Nick Herbig. They you're like, hey, be aware of him. We know what he can do, but you're literally game playing for TJ Watt and for Alex Highsmith because those are your main starters. You're going to revolve around those guys and hey, when Herbig comes in, we know what he's going to do. And you're also like, hey, we know what Porter can do. We know how well he can play in this zone, that, in these types of coverages and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Herbert's that wild card coming in. You're not literally focusing on him. Now, when he's going to become that guy, teams are going to focus on him. And is that production going to be there or not? We already know it's been there with Porter. We saw him get better year over year at that position. It's going to be tricky. But if Herbig can pan out when he becomes the guy, that contract is also a bargain.
Yeah.
Same thing with Washington. Washington's contract's always looking like a bargain because other tight ends are getting signed to more money and longer term deals than him. So get your guys now. So it's a bargain.
And also, there's people that argue the lower end are saying 25 to 30, but I think the Herbig deal automatically can put you ahead of that. So I think it should be a simpler deal. Like you're saying, don't let the inflation kill you. Get in while the getting's good. So you dictate that. And then at the other end of the spectrum, like it's got to be better than what Herbig has. So now you're talking 27 to 30. You're both in the right ballpark. I mean, in my mind, this should be. Again, I get it's business and it's a very, very complicated, high-paying business. But at the end of the day, if you're talking between 27 and 30, are they trying to split the ad? Are they splitting hairs here, Mike? What do you expect?
I forget who said it, but I agree with them. It's all these contracts come down to the guaranteed money.
Yeah,
because we all know like they're not 100% guaranteed. Only portions of it is. It's how much and how soon are you getting that guaranteed money?
Right.
And that's going to be the big sticking point with this contract because we saw the guaranteed money with Herbig and Washington. And that's really what made their contracts really short. Is like the guaranteed money wasn't that outrageous. And it's really cost beneficial for the Steelers and for the player to get that. Now, Porter might be wanting more guaranteed money further up, and they're like, oh man, we got these guys with guaranteed money up here. Can we shift money to the back end for you and shit like that? He might want it up close. So you never know how that guaranteed money is going to get paid out. That's probably where the sticking point's going to lie. I forget who said it. Whoever said it, great point.
Yeah, I listen. I want JP. I just again, I don't know. I'm hoping that JPJ gets it taken care of here soon, Mike. I don't want to see this thing get stretched out any further, but it seems like there's other things that certainly have to be considered. But it's a very good point that you make. You would rather be in a situation where you control it, opposed to not really having any control. If somebody else like Gonzalez or Witherspoon does control the market, then then you just have to kind of go along with the ride, where you can control the situation and make them go along for the ride. And then, like you said, you end up getting a good deal. So I agree, Mike. I'm ready for JPJ. And again, Mike, I think everybody else certainly is as well, because we're just a month away from right now. The Steelers are going to be walking out on that field, and I know that I'm seeing names of walking in today. I do want to say what's up to my man, Steel Loyal. He's going to be up here in the Berg, Mike, in 3 weeks. I know he's going to be up in the Strip District here in about 3 weeks. Everybody's just chomping at the bit to get to this point. And I also do want to say what's up to my man, Somber. Always great seeing you on the Terrible Bird Board. I hope you had a great weekend, my friend. I know that it's getting hot here in Western PA, so I know that it's got to be hot out in Los Angeles where you're at. Hopefully you're taking it in stride. I think we'll get through it, guys, because in 1 month from right now, we are going to be cheering on our Steelers as they run out on the field in Westmoreland County, Mike, at the St. Vincent College in Latrobe.
I need it. I heard when I went to get my water, I heard some animals scurrying outside, and I almost walked out there to make sure they're doing the fucking drills properly. It's just how deranged I am for football right now.
Very deranged he is. I got to be honest.
I need it. I'm about to start taking the kids outside and start teaching them to do Oklahoma drills.
Yeah, I'd be for it.
So one of them definitely would be going to the hospital.
Let's grab some messages. Let's go along here, Mike, as we were getting a little bit behind. I apologize, guys. Tyrone says, I'm good with CJ, Baker. All these guys need to go with class of 2027 regardless. Lindsay says, I don't know about Stroud. For us, Squeege, he's also passing on Stroud as well. Lindsay says this, doesn't he play in a dome and he's going to come up here and play?
He played at Ohio State in the weather.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He got a big win in Pittsburgh last year in the playoffs for sure as well.
Well, I don't know how much he contributed
that's true.
to that win. Jesus, he did everything he could. You want to talk about someone who looked like they were betting against themselves.
Yeah.
Jesus. Looked like him and Sorsby had some money on that game.
Tyrone says if we had an offense last year, we should have won the game by 14 with how many turnovers CJ had. That's true. I forgot about that. Squeege says this. He says we have Mike McCarthy. We need to utilize that to develop young quarterbacks for sure. Corey says this, don't drink that. It's hard to get better when your line can't protect you. He never learned to develop trust with his offensive line. He came into a great offensive line, so he never had to build with anybody. I think he plays scared. Let's go to Ty. Squeege, speaking facts today, I want my Via Mensa sellers, my top 3 2027 class. Let's go here to Tater. Tater says this. Tater says, no Stroud. He says Anthony Richardson incoming.
Yeah, that's just going to go take over for Purdy.
Yeah. Let's go here to Mike Tomlin. He says, you guys talk to a potato? Hey, we do. We do. Hey, Jamie, yo. Always great seeing Jamie Carlo on the board. Glad to see you. Welcome back to the board. Welcome back to the show. Hope you had a great weekend, my friend, as we are a month away from the start, exactly a month away from the start of camp. Guys, this is 76 days from kickoff against the Falcons. 1 month exactly till camp. 76 days from kickoff to the regular season with Atlanta. Great seeing you, brother. Always great seeing you back. Let's go with Corey. Corey says that Mike Tomlin, Mark Wahlberg talked to Teddy Bear, so it's not that weird. Ted. You know what? I ended up liking Ted a lot better than I thought that I was going to be honest. Let's go to y'all ever had a Wahlburger? I never had a Wahlburger. We have them, I think. Loyal says, yes, disgusting. She doesn't like the Wahlburger. Corey says that tortilla. No, I like women. I don't know what a Wahlburg tastes like. Let's go to tortilla. Does it taste like Mark Wahlberg? You know what's funny? You used to hear people talking about Mark Wahlberg. He was Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch to me. Like, I don't know Mark Wahlberg as Mark Wahlberg like everybody else does. I know him as Marky Mark. Being a youngster and that being big at that particular time. Mark Malone says, don't sleep on the Johnson either. Don't sleep on the Johnson. And I'm going to get back to your Johnson in just a moment, Mark. I promise you I am. You just hold on to it, and I promise we'll get back on it. Squeege says this. That's where life got us. What do you want? Your bills paid or a Wahlberg? I know. And I hate this. I don't know what the... Listen, I love fast food. I always have. I can't afford 2 items off a menu anymore. It's unbelievable what fast food costs. It's unbelievable. Squeege, that's we got you on that one. Also, Lindsay says this. Lindsay says they had one in our mall and it closed it because the food was bad. And no one, I knew you guys had one out that way. Tortilla says Art Rooney charges $8 for a hot dog. Let's go right here to Squeege. Squeege says this, I work 60 hours a week at $25 an hour. I only can afford the bills and a pack of smokes. But remember, America loves you. I know. And when I went to Canada, I spoke of that earlier, Mike. Cigarettes were $8, and that was when I was in junior high school. So imagine what cigarettes cost in Canada now. Jeez. Tortilla, you could probably fill all the potholes in Pittsburgh with hot dog money. Take a lot of hot dog money. Let's see. Let's go right here. Don't drink that. At Squeege, I don't get it either. Spending $20 on ground beef and charging $20 a burger is criminal. Making a profit I get, but damn, times are hard and my wife is tired of being the broke loser. Mark Malone says, I don't think he looked overweight last year. I kind of doubt he lost much. Mark also says this, speaking of overweight, think about Derpy's poor dad and his vacations. Yeah. Derpy's. Remember when we hung out with Derpy's dad once?
Oh, yeah. Who can forget that?
He was an all right guy. I would have preferred hanging out with him over Derpy.
Me too.
Let's go right here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says this. He says, I haven't seen Derpy in chats lately. That's good. I don't know what the hell's up with him anymore. I know he was in Florida for a while. That could be it. I don't know why that stops him from being online. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it shouldn't mess him up being on vacation, but like you notice, Mike, people don't see him now. That he's, I don't know. I don't know.
His life is a vacation. Like, it is.
I know.
He has zero responsibilities and he's nowhere to be found, unreliable.
And I gotta be honest with you, if I was him, I'd rather stay at home. My parents are going to Florida. Yeah, I'd rather stay at home, keep the house to myself, and do other shit. But no, not Derpy. Along for the ride he goes. Let's go right.
He's thinking jerking off in another state might be more enjoyable. Who knows?
Well, it's enjoyable at first, but that comes and goes really fast.
Yeah, the first couple, it's exciting and new. Then after that, it's just like, I'm really back in my own safe environment.
Right. Tortilla says life is too short. Send a dick pic to the IRS. Mark Malone, I think he's taking some time off. All right, well, we'll call it that. We will call it that. Let's continue along. Let's go right here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, Mark, you need a break too. For real, you haven't been that bad today, though, for once. Mark says, I'm going somewhere in the Caribbean in the next couple months. Are you really? That's pretty awesome. Ain't that where like all the white people go on cruise ships and end up dead? I'm just saying, Mark, be careful. I don't know.
So you're telling Tyrone there's a chance he'll be free.
What's that? Well, yeah, that's true.
You're telling him Tyrone he's going to be free at the JPJ talk.
These guys that go, and these people that go on these yachts and these Caribbean trips, I don't know what it is, but I would never. I would never. They're always coming up dead, and just who knows what the hell goes on these ships? Who knows? But no. Let's go here to Tyrone. Tyrone, I'm sorry. I'm right here. Yes, Ty he says I need vacation soon. I'm gonna go to a beach and see Lindsay pitch here. All right. Hey, let's go here. Let's go to somewhere down here. Right here. Tyrone says Max will start. Kevin says Max will be the starter at right tackle, in my opinion. I think so too, Mark Malone is saying. A lot of people agreeing with that, Mike, about IMAX being the guy at right tackle to start the season. That's the question, though. Will be I think the answer is IMAX. But the starting the season was the part that I was stressing in that particular question.
I think he's gonna be the starter, man. I think he's gonna come on strong.
I think I agree too. I hope you're right, and I agree. Tyrone, Mark Malone says first rounder, played right tackle extensively. Tyrone says now right guard, I want Dunker, but we will see. I think he could definitely beat out Hoffman and Anderson. Mark Malone, he's not going to beat off anyone. I know that he said something about beating the Johnson here shortly, and I do have something for that. Is if I could just get to it. Lindsay says Dunker will be playing. Lindsay says Mark. Let's go here. No Diddy Mark. Tyrone Tortilla. That's how Broderick got the job. He beat off Tomlin. He beat off the Tomlin. Let's go here to Mark Malone. He says something was going on there. Had to have been. Mike Tomlin says gross. Squeege says my point was Ohio State bases their expectation off of championship opportunities. Yes, the playoffs are an indication of that, but immediate consistent playoff losses exposes that team is not ready. Somber says this: if my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle. That might be one of the most recognizable comments ever in Pittsburgh sports history, Mike. I'll never be able to forget. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
It's still one of the best Tomlin quotes.
Tyrone says OSU winning it all this year. Artie Smith, baby. Lindsay says not with Artie Smith. Mike might have something to say new as well. I mean, you got a new head coach over there at your squad and a new quarterback, obviously. And so we'll see. We'll watch that Big Ten.
I'm never confident in my team. I very rarely.
Hey, you're not.
I'm the worst Penn State fan there is.
Yeah, you're pretty rough. Let's go here. Let's go to Ty. He says, yeah, it's not his offense, Lindsay. OSU got a good team this year, and that's the thing that they're going to do fine. They're just a winning team, like as we use in its own scale, as are the Steelers. They just win a lot of football games. Ohio State is going to be fine. They're going to win a lot of football games, whether they win the championship or not. They're a good football team, and you know what? I don't see that being any different this year. Squeege says this, Mike. He says, I told OSU fans to be prepared, LOL. Who knows? Maybe incredible at the college level with 5-star talent everywhere. I'm not much into college football, but it will be interesting to see what happens.
He's going to turn wide receiver you into tight end you.
That'll be interesting. Let's go to Lindsay. Yeah, I'm not buying that story. Tyrone, OSU will never be bad. That's it. I mean, they're just a winning. It just is what it is. Like Alabama, they're just never going to be bad. Yes, they're going to have down years. Yes, they're going to have times that OSU wins. Lindsay says, "Well, with him they will. He fucking sucks." Let's go to Raul. What's up, Raul? Always great seeing Raul. Welcome back to the show, Mike. See Raul here. He says, Raul, yes, you could have Deech Watson and showed exactly. You tell Tater. Tater, listen to Raul. He's speaking knowledge. Let's go to Squeege. Squeege says this. He says, agreed. The recruits they bring in ensures they will be dominant for a long time. I just can't root for OSU when they play teams like Purdue commonly. I agree. Not negating when they do. I agree. But that's how college football. The SEC is just tough the whole way through. Every team seems like they're so damn talented every year. But I agree to an extent. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, not a chance. LOL, Ohio State. Mike Lindsay says this, don't crush out if they suck, because he definitely does. Mike, where's Michigan going to be this year? I know that we have Ohio State fans in the house. I know we have Penn State fans. Where's Michigan? Does anybody know if they're supposed to be any good?
I'm not sure, actually. To be honest with you, I know they've had, like, the Harbaugh scandal, then the other coach had something wrong happen as well. It's kind of a mess happening up there in Michigan, but knowing them, they'll find a way to be in the conversation.
As always.
They always do. They're another really good program.
Absolutely.
That always gets good talent.
Absolutely. Okay, now I'm not taking anything away from them three schools. Like, they always sit 1, 2, 3 in that conference. Say what you want, they just do. So till anybody upends them. Cody says, what it do? Cody, what up, man? Always great seeing Cody in the Heezy, baby.
Cody's here.
Code Dog in the house.
Time to end the stream. Cody's here.
Cody, I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to the show, man.
What up?
Squeech says, thanks to the video game college football, I've come to like Toledo. I'm sorry, Toledo. That is in Ohio. Mark Malone, yeah, I remember. I can't believe they televised the whole thing. You see that? Let's go here to Steele. Steele says, me and Tortilla argued about Jerry Dulac the other day. Squeech says, this forgiveness is power and a tool that resonates with others. Kudos to you two. Yeah, thank you. So we appreciate that. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, Squeege TV, you're going to get 27? 27. Let's scoot down here. Squeege says this. Probably I'm an idiot, but I love football, and it's the only licensed game you can get. I also do content creating, so it's a part of my channel. He follows that up, Mike, by saying this. He says, the new games actually look good, but they always do. LOL, gameplay will be the same. That's expected at this point. I just want great presentation and franchise dynasty depth. And then he follows that up by saying this, certainly doing a Toledo building and a Steelers franchise. Check the channel when those games come out. Holding off on NCAA until after Madden comes out. We'll have to check you out. And I see right here, Mike, where Tyrone, he says, what's your channel? And Squeege, he says this. He goes, my current profile. I've done many other games, but my heart is with football content, and I couldn't agree with you more. We will check it out. Squeege says this. He says, I'm a growing channel, so please remind yourself of that. I'm just trying to have, hey, it's all good in the hood, dude. We'll certainly check you out, support you, hit some likes and follows, and we'll be right there with you. Let's continue right here, Mike, to Tortilla. Tortilla says they finally put Sac State in the game, so I'm going to be playing with them. Ball State versus Sac State will be my Super Bowl. I like it a lot.
That is fucking beautiful.
Please put that on. I want to watch that. Squeegee says this. I stopped doing Madden content a few months back, but I will be back until when Madden releases. Excited to get better with each video. It's been a challenge. You know what I've been watching too, Mike, is some of these Super Tecmo Bowl games on YouTube. Yeah. Have you caught any of these? They're a lot of fun.
No, I haven't caught any of the videos, but fucking Super Tecmo Bowl is my jam, and Tecmo Bowl is my jam.
I like seeing all them Steelers because they weren't in the original, so they were in a Super. And again, as a kid, I craved that. I was like, where are my Steelers? Why are they not on Tecmo Bowl? And then by the time I got Sega Genesis, I missed the whole thing. I missed Super Tecmo Bowl. So long story short, I'm totally lame, and I sit around and watch people play Tecmo Bowl on YouTube for fun. So do what you want with that, which is not lame. I know a lot of people does that. Let's continue on. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin says this. He says, I heard somewhere that they may limit Hayward snaps. That is very, yeah, you know what? Give me 1 second, Kevin, because I have a little package that I want to talk about here in just a moment that I kind of have that on. That gives Benton more reps. Your thoughts? Absolutely. We'll get that in just 1 second. Patrick, what's up? Great having you back on the board. Patrick Olson. Mike is back. He says they have to pay him now.
Yeah, hell yeah, pay him now.
Exactly. Pay him now. Lock it up is what he's saying. Tortilla JPJ just didn't want to sign during Pride Month. Tyrone says 4 years, 120, 60 guarantee. Let's go here. Remember, Mike JPJ, not good zone corner, but ranked second. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin says JPJ, $27 million for 4 years, in my opinion. Mark Malone, Detroit has the money to do it. Lindsay says, knew it was coming. Mark. Steel Loyal says, so Mark, you're saying the Lions will choose JPJ over Gibbs. Patrick says that price sounds reasonable. Tortilla says, yeah, JPJ need money to bail out Terry and Arnold. Oh,
$1 million bond.
Wow.
And I wanted the Steelers to draft him too.
Yeah.
Dodged a bullet there.
Sure did. Dodged quite a few bullets. Maybe things are looking up for the Steelers, Mike. As again, we dodge the Ayuk bullet. We're dodging other bullets. Hey, who knows? Maybe the fortunes are turning back in our Steelers' favor. Tyrone, he subbed over there at Squeege. I'm going to sub after the show today. Mark Malone, Arnold Ghana, Tortilla whoosh. Let's go here. Let's go Tyrone. Yep, guarantee is the problem. He wants over 50. That's for sure. Somber says, I see very similar deal to JC Horn's deal for JPJ. Lindsay is going to be paid, so I can care less. Somber, 25 Somber is what Tyrone is asking. Mark Malone, he'll get paid for sure. Lindsay saying 27.5. Of course, we're talking about Joey Porter. Somber, probably 27-ish, but a higher guaranteed. Robert said they will get it done with JPJ. Not all that worried. And that's where I'm at overall as well. I know that it makes our friend Ty uneasy, so I hope it gets done sooner than later for his sake. But I'm pretty confident in our team in signing JPJ for extension. Let's go right here. I'm going to pay JPJ myself, Steel Loyal says. Tyrone says, yeah, maybe I think he's not going less than 28. Patrick Olson, Mike says, no Stroud. No
Stroud. I'm right.
Everybody seems on the same boat on that one, Mike, with Stroud. And 2 or 3 years ago, that would have sounded great. People would have said, oh, wow.
Oh, fuck yeah. Sign me up, brother. Now, not so much.
Somber says, I don't think it's about yearly average. He wants that immediate bag. He wants to get out of his dad's basement. Give me my damn good contract already.
Yeah, it's like when Crosby still had to keep living in the music guest house.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, don't got that contract yet. I'm stuck.
Tyrone, I'm sorry, Mark Malone training camp is going to be very interesting this year. I couldn't agree with you more, Mark. I'm very excited. Again, it starts 1 month from today. Just think, guys, the last game we played was in January. That Houston game was in January. We go to camp in 1 month from today. Tyrone, yeah, me too. Tortilla says this. Tortilla says Omar is already scouting JPJ the third, future Steelers DL. Mark Malone says you guys are thinking they'll sign Porter before camp. I don't know. Lindsay does. Ty says obviously LOL. I hope so. Mike, kind of going back to what was just asked. Here we go. Now, the only reason I saved this till closer to the end is because this is news from the Fat Man. That's right, Mike. These are things that the Fat Man, a very, very fat man in Pittsburgh sports media, has talked about. And sometimes they make us laugh. Sometimes they make us cry. Sometimes they make us just sit there and scratch our head, Mike. But today, I don't think he was way off. The Fat Man in Pittsburgh says this, Mike. Steelers could see Cam could see his snap counts reduced in year 16 about 5 to 10%. I think this was an easy take again because he's 40 years old almost. Of course, his numbers are going to go down. So again, Mike, tales from the Fat Man.
We need a sound effect, and it should be someone munching on a hamburger.
Oh wow, that video is. Do that again one more time. Put your head down.
I knew exactly where you were going.
How could I have not?
So, but yeah, it's only makes sense for him to have less snaps, to be fresh, to be part of a rotation, which we talked about earlier this year. Of like, you get a nice D-line rotation. These guys are fresh, they're healthier throughout the season. Same thing with the linebacking core. They're healthier, they're fresher, they're more dynamic as the season goes on. It's not rocket appliance. Like whenever Kaboli says something, you really don't need to have a high IQ to say what he says.
Mm-mm. We had to make a whole segment here on the show. And that's the video. And every time we open up that segment. Mike, and then on the other end, he says this, and this is interesting to me. This is another comment that I saved straight for this episode or for this segment of the show. Mike, Kaboli says, absolutely not. There's no chance Caleb Johnson should lose his roster spot to Eli. Mike, I don't know. This is I think is something that is actually interesting. What's ultimately going to play out at that running back room, Mike? Because again, you have you brought over a Homer, you brought over you got Caleb, you have two guys that are going to be your 1 and 2. How is this running back room going to play out, Mike? And is there any chance that Caleb Johnson does lose out to the rookie Eli?
Excuse me. Yeah, I see a way he can lose out. They want guys who are able to do multiple things on offense, and right now KJ is kind of limited in what he can do in the offense. And if Eli can come on and prove he belongs as a 7th round pick, he can play running back. He can play a little wide receiver. He might be able to help you in the return game. They're still doing passing drills and blocking drills with Caleb Johnson. It might be a tough road to hoe for him to make this roster. He might be a guy that does get put on the practice squad. We're talking about maybe potentially sneaking Will Howard on there. I think they might try and sneak Caleb Johnson on the practice squad, which I don't think would be a bad idea. Like if you don't think you're going to get a lot out of him right away, this year, don't give up on him. Put him on the practice squad. But I think it's going to be a tough battle. Like, it won't surprise me either way if he wins a roster spot or not on this team.
I listen. I would be against getting rid of him at this point because, again, at the end of the day, he wasn't even under this coaching staff last. Didn't play under this coaching staff last year. I'd want to see what he got, unless he totally shits the bed in camp. I can't imagine. So again, there's just a lot of bodies in that room right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, Mike. Here's a question that comes back to. Just like we were talking about Eli here for a moment, Caleb being a rookie last year. I'm sorry, Mike, and everybody on the board. Any of these 10 guys. I know that we talked about this earlier about the right tackle position and IMAX being the guy, and people are leaning in the favor of him starting the season. Mike, with exception of IMAX, and again, we don't know that to even be the case, any of these 10 guys that we drafted have potential to start on day one. And again, I know that IMAX, so let's kind of fish through the other 9 guys. Does any one of these 10 kids start in 76 days?
I guess you can maybe qualify Jeremy as a starter. Like, even if he doesn't, let's say we start with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight end, the first play of the game, and he comes in that series, I'm going to qualify him as a starter. Right. If he's viable as that number 3 receiver, I'm going to say he's a starter. So I'm thinking IMAX and Jeremy are your 2 that are starters, and then someone like Dalen Everett being a key backup, a key rotational piece in there. Yeah. And then Dunker maybe later on in the season, but to start those that first 4 weeks, I'm going to say IMAX and Jeremy.
All right, and again, IMAX and Jeremy. That's all. It makes sense.
Region as the returner. I forgot about him.
And again, that's it says something because the 2 players you picked are both offensive players, which is where we needed the help the most. We went out and got our linemen, we went out and got our receiver. So, if they could end up being day one starters, that says a lot about the work that we were able to do in this offseason and bringing in guys and having them ready to be day one starters. So that also, one other thing here, Mike, before we do move along, Johnny Manziel still still, Johnny Manziel still roots against the Browns in the hope that they go winless every year. Mike, I don't know. Is it that enemy of your enemy is your friend? Does this apply to Johnny Manziel? The fact that he even thinks that the Browns are so ridiculous and stupid that he still roots for them to go winless all year long.
I fucking love it. It's kind of like a one-sided beef.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like they took a chance on you. They trusted the homeless guy, told you
Right.
to draft you, and you did fuck all, man. You like screwed yourself. Yes, you went to the Browns. You probably weren't going to succeed anyway, but you didn't do any of the work, brother. Like, this is like totally one-sided beef, but I am here for it, and I think it's great.
I like it too. Let's move along. Let's get through some messages, Mike. We're rounding third here on the show. Let's go right here. Tyrone says, still a month to get it done. Absolutely. That's a lot of time. I mean, it's right around the corner, but it could really go either way. It is still a lot of time to get somebody signed. Tortilla says he'll sign Wednesday or the second that we start our vacation here on the show, Mike, when we wrap up the 1,000th episode and we start vacation, probably the very next day he'll get it signed, and it's just the way things go. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, when TJ signed, we didn't hear nothing for weeks and just signed out of nowhere. That's true. Also, Mark Malone, 4 weeks. It'll get real interesting if they haven't signed or traded him in that period of time. Let's go here to Lindsay. Lindsay says, hope he signs 7-7 or 7-11. Hey, both pretty good days. Let's also go right here. Patrick says, I quit eating fast food and lost 45 pounds. I believe that. I truly do. I truly believe that. You probably saved some money, too. Let's go to Tortilla. The JPJ Glizzy at the Steelers game is going to pay for JPJ's contract. Tortilla's calling it the Lockdown Glizzy. Lockdown Glizzy. He did, Tyrone says. Mark Malone says Derpy's local authorities are probably getting concerned about the missing women.
Ooh.
Perhaps. Tyrone says this, so why saying there's no trade talk, JPJ talk, running backs should go to. Steel Loyal says Pirates of the Caribbean, for real. Mark Malone definitely not going on a cruise. Yeah, I don't trust them cruises. I just don't. You hear so many terrible. I don't know. They still remain so popular, and you always hear about the poisoning and people coming home with new viruses and everything else.
Like, I ain't going on no cruise.
Hell no. Hell no. Tortilla says a cruise like O'Neill Cruise. No wonder they sank. Good one. Lindsay says, there it is. There's that damn what was it? Hunter virus. Yeah, you don't want to catch that. They always come with these new viruses you never heard of on these ships before.
Yeah, right? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
no, thank
we
you.
haven't seen this in forever. And then you get the minute you get on the boat, you're screwed.
Yeah. Let's go here to Mark Malone. I have no idea why anyone would want to go on a cruise. I mean, back in the day, I guess it would have been good, but there's just been so much negative news about it. I have no interest. And that's been my whole life. It isn't like these are isolated incidents. This is just negative after negative after negative. Let's go to Shiva. Welcome back to the show, Shiva. Great to see you on a terrible board. He says, I hope this isn't one of those podcasts that have Rogers derangement syndrome. The fact that Arthur Smith tried to make Jonnu Smith the primary target last year was punishment enough.
Oh, brother, no. We like ourselves some Aaron Rodgers, and my God, we were ready to kill Arthur Smith.
I don't even understand why anybody would go against that. You know what I mean? Like, where's the logic of saying? Did anybody actually like what Arthur Smith did? I still have yet to run into anybody like
does
this.
Arthur Smith like what Arthur Smith did?
Steel Loyal, he says, you'll fit right in, Shiv. Yeah, welcome, dude. Welcome to the show. I assume a dude. If not, I apologize. Let's go here. Tyrone is saying Heisman, of course, the quarterback from Ohio State. Lindsay, yeah, if Smith couldn't work with AR, what's he going to do with Sayin? Let's go here. Steel Loyal. We call Jonnu Smith dumpster juice, by the way. dumpster juice.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh. Ty says saying is young, LOL, and has the best wide receiver in the nation, LOL, and Henry and Ennis. Lindsay says, okay, let's go here to Steel Loyal. I'm sorry, I scooted back up a hair. Let's come down. Robert says this. Robert says Penn State has one of the top 5 or 10 head coaches in all of football, college football. Campbell worked miracles at Iowa State. There you go, Mikey.
I hope so. I knew he did well out there, but like my God, we were going through like 45 coaches till we got to this guy, and that's what concerns me.
And again,
We went through so many and then got to him, but that can be a blessing in disguise. Like we found the right guy. It just took a while.
I think the blessing in disguise is James Franklin is Virginia Tech now, and I think they're on our schedule this year. I think they're on our schedule, and then also, Mike, I think that Bill Belichick. I think North Carolina. Get to see him again this year. So,
I hope you guys get the full James Franklin experience when you play him. Like the team will look good, and then they collapse in the second half, and you guys can walk out with an easy victory. It's going to be the one time I'm going to fucking root for Pitt.
At the end of the day, I mean, Penn State's a PA team. I always kind of support them. Listen, I always talk shit on them, but if anybody outside of PA gives me shit about them, I stick up for them. So I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It makes sense.
Squeege says this, it's to the point I want to lose. Oh, I'm sorry. Squeege did say this prior to that. My only issue with Madden is that I've played every Madden ever, and at this point I know what does and doesn't beat the computer. No bragging. It got to the point that I've counted 47 consecutive wins. That's awesome, man. Hey, I played a lot of Madden growing up for sure, man. Me and my buddy, we did seasons. Every time a new Madden come out, we'd literally run to the nearest mall. We would run. We would go through a graveyard, through the back field of a Wendy's. Like it was like something you'd see in a movie. We'd run to literally grab that game and run home to start our seasons. We absolutely loved Madden. Squeege, the point I don't want to lose for sure. Follows it up by saying, I missed you guys saying you sub. Thank you. I will certainly also get over there and do some subbing when we do get off the air at Squeege TV. Go check him out, everybody. Lindsay says, I can't wait for some football in my life. Also, guys, if you were, and I bring this up often because they're awesome, check out our women's football team. If you love the black, you love the gold, you love football, you know what? The Pittsburgh Passion, they're going to be on ESPN Plus in a rematch game against the DC Divas, who they lost to in the semifinals last year. If they win this game, they go back to Canton, Ohio for another shot at a championship. Our women can play, guys. They are number 1 in the country. I'm just throwing that out there. I was watching the other day. I'm seeing the numbers going on right here on YouTube. You could type in Pittsburgh Passion versus the Mile High Blaze and watch the game yourself. Go check it out, guys. I think if you like I said, if you like women and you like football, and these chicks play hard too, it's not, go check it out, everybody. The Pittsburgh Passion next Saturday. They're off this week to prepare for the semifinal game on ESPN Plus. So do check that out. Let's go here to Kevin. Betting will be extended for JPJ. That's interesting. An interesting take. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Christine? Always great seeing Christine on the terrible board. She says, hey, y'all. Always great seeing you all the way from Kentucky. Hope things are going good. Hope you had a great weekend, Christine. Mike Tortilla says this. He says, did anybody leave cookies out for Kaboli? JD, Christine, everybody exchanging pleasantries. Good to see Christine as always. Mark Malone, the entire NFL, he led the entire NFL in snaps last year, the defensive line. Is that Cam? Is that true? Wow. Clamford. Kevin says they carry all 4 running backs, in my opinion. Hey, as long as we're down tight ends, Mike, we don't have 15 tight ends to suit up this year. We could have 4 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, and receivers. Hey, things are happening. Tyrone says, I hope not. For real, I want to see KJ this year. Lindsay, I disagree with him being in the PS practice squad. Let's go here. Mark Malone, he says this. I don't think Heinrich or beats out Johnson. Okay, gotcha. Don't think that Eli beats out Johnson. We got you on the practice squad, Lindsay. Got you on that. Steel Loyal, all the way from North Carolina, who's going to be with us in about 3 weeks, making the trek up to the Berg. Steel Loyal, always great seeing. He says, I don't know. I think KJ is too much of an athlete to be beat out by Eli. Very possible. Tyrone says this. Bernard, Max Dunker, maybe, and Weegan. Kick return, punt return. We're talking about people being day 1 starters. Mark Malone, he says, need insurance for Ward and Dowdle. Yeah. Christine says, when Weegan, probably only one that will actually start. Steel Loyal, Jeremy is a starter on the West Coast, 11-man personnel. Let's go here. Somber, he says this. He says, right now, Jeremy, Weegan, Nowakowski are concrete, in my opinion, unknown on the rest. Lindsay says this, Mike, I don't know if Dunker will start. He will play.
Maybe by mid-season, get a roster spot or get a starting spot. I can see it happening.
Hey, possibly. Let's go here. Steel Loyal. I'm sorry. Let's go here to Don't Drink That. Corey says Bernard will start by week 5 or 6. I think one of the unexciting whites will be returner. I'd assume the running back out of Navy. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. Crazy talk. Lindsay says start over who? Not Pittman or DK. Yeah, you know that. Let's go here to Shiva. What's up, man? Shiva says this. Shiva says IMAX will make his bones as swing tackle to start. If he earns the coach's trust, they'll put him under the lights for a whole game. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Absolutely very interesting for sure. I mean, this is what we went after. This is our first round pick. I'm pulling for him. Tyrone says, don't drink that. You tripping, bro. He's day one starter. Laugh out loud. Steel Loyal says Weegan will be the returner. Tortillas is a guy who came up with the enemy of my enemy is my friend saying got betrayed and killed. Just for your information, they leave that part out. Tyrone says Bernard is a wide receiver. LOL, not a returner. Laugh my ass off. Let's go. Tortilla sounds cool though. Mark Malone, Bernard starts in the slot game 1. Corey says this at Tyrone. I say week 5. Because I'm thinking they won't throw him in and rush him right away with DK and Pittman. I could see them using smaller personnel packages and or giving Roman one more chance. I hope they give Roman somewhat of a chance. I mean, a chance. I mean, not somewhat. I'd love to see him come along. I mean, come on. I'm not saying I want him to he may not. I don't want him to be ahead of Bernard, but you know what? He deserves the opportunity for sure, I think. Let's go here, Tyrone. Yeah, no, LOL. Roman ain't beating out Bernard, and we run the 11 personnel. Laughing out loud. Let's go to Corey. I never said Bernard would be a returner. LOL. I was talking Heinrich or whatever. Gotcha. Super. What's up, dude? Well, Super. We back here on the board from just a little bit earlier. He says Brazil versus Japan. Brazil versus Japan, Mike, and I assume that is the soccer, right?
Yeah, soccer in Brazil came back from 1-0 down to win, and they scored in like the 96th minute.
Okay.
To break the hearts of the Japan.
Ooh, all right.
Like if Japan would have won that game, Brazil would have been the only country to have lost to every Axis power from World War II. Just throwing it out there. It was a weird little thing I just scrolled upon.
Like, watch out, Hiroshima.
I know, right? I was like, oh man, because Japan went up 1-0, and like I was like, no shit.
Wow.
I saw that, and then
that's all. I mean, a lot of big, soccer's the thing right now, man.
It's booming.
Let's go over to Ty. Ty says you're my guy, so I'm gonna let that bad take slide. It's cool though. Corey says this. He says at Tyrone, I hope you're right. I just know how stupid this team can be sometimes. We do some dumbass shit for a franchise with 6 Super Bowls. You're not wrong. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says this. I had to check a retard on Facebook yesterday. Idiot said JPJ won't get paid because we switched to an 80% zone scheme. You can't make this shit up. How are you, buddy? Always great hearing from my man Somber. Hope things are going good for you. He said this. I thought most Steeler fans knew ball. I was mistaken. They all have an opinion. They don't all know ball.
Right?
Let's go here. Let's go to, but a lot of them do. I'm not taking anything away from anybody. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says disagree there, but yeah, Bernard will start for show. Corey says I'd love to see it. Ty. I've given up on the Roman. That's what's unfortunate. It's just a head scratch to me. I want him to not be successful because he's not successful. You know what I mean? Again, hopefully we figure that out this year. Mark Malone, I just wouldn't want to be stuck on a boat with that many people. What a kind of fucking vacation is that? Tyrone says, me too, brother. I'm hopeful, though. I do think he's perfect. Wide receiver 4, though. Steel Loyal says McCarthy will most definitely throw a rookie receiver out there. Look at CD Lamb. That's true. It's true. It's a different mindset under this coaching staff, so we will see. Swaggy McNolegs, what up, man? Always good to see you, Swaggy McNolegs, back on the terrible board. He says the Penn State Predators, Swaggy McNolegs. Always good to see you. I hope things are going well. Let's go to Corey. He says, that's still good point. I have Mike Tomlin PTSD, I guess. LOL. He tried too hard to stand on old school business to his own downfall. Let's go here. Steel Loyal says, I can't blame you for that. The Tomlin PTSD still hits me too, Corey. Mark Malone, nothing old school about Tomlin. He was just a effing idiot with a big mouth. Tomlin steps in. Tomlin enters the room. He says, the standard is the standard, guys. Relax. Mark, it is. He follows that up. Steel Loyal says he's a sleep paralysis demon. LOL. Ty says Mike Tomlin lurking in the shadows. A few more, Mike, and we're going to get ready to head into the trivia question of the day. Let's grab Corey first. He says a lot of my takes come from what he's done. I refuse to get my hopes up for anything with this team. Easy wins don't exist, and obvious wins don't exist. In the Tomlin era, everything was a struggle. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Yeah, we've been conditioned to think this way at Corey. Mark Malone, Sandusky is kind of hard to defend. We could all agree on that. Penn State or not Penn State fans, I think we could all agree there.
That defense was legendary of Sandusky. So I'm going to say, we're talking about what he did. I'm going to say talking about his defense. His defense is great.
Let's go to Ty. Ty says, can't argue with that. We all got PTSD, and that's why we all here, baby. We got each other's back. We're gonna get back in this thing, and it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna celebrate. Believe me, we're gonna do a lot of celebrating in the future here, guys. Mike Tomlin says, I look good though. Hey, you got to admit, Mike's a good-looking guy. Coach T, not a bad-looking fella. Lindsay said this. Yes, that look on your face on the sideline when you were losing was priceless. My favorite was when he put his leg out on the field. That was
the best.
That was my Lloyd McClendon, Mike Tomlin moment. Just a crazy situation. I believe it was a primetime game, if I'm not mistaken.
It was like when Cowher was going to punch that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's up there, man.
It's up there. Silver says this: Eli might be back there with Caden on kickoffs if he makes the team, but he's not the returner. Facebook market foot. Faceball market foot. Tortilla is saying. Let's go here to Mark Maloney. Says, I have not given up on the Roman, and I don't want the Roman to be done either. I at least want to see him fail before he fails. That's my problem. If he's going to fail, I want to let him fail. I don't think he's getting the opportunities. Tyrone, I'm heading to Taco Bell. I took a month off. I'm about to go eat good. That's awesome, dude.
Hell yeah, brother. See, everyone was getting on your nerves. I think the problem was you weren't eating enough Taco Bell.
I agree. Get out there, get yourself some Taco Bell. Get yourself some cheesy gordita crunches, some sides of nacho cheese. You'll be back in the saddle, I promise you. All right, be safe. Be safe on them roads, brother. Robert said there are less than 8 people per square mile in the country I live in. I have no desire to be stuck on a ship with many thousands of people. I don't blame you one bit. I mean, the idea, I guess, I don't know. It's just one of them things that I know that I wouldn't be happy once I did. I could probably talk myself into something. Oh, this could be fun. There's going to be chicks, maybe see some titties, something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be on a ship with 1 million fucking people. Sweating everywhere, projectile vomiting, the kids, the whole thing.
You would jump overboard.
I would jump overboard, and I can't swim, so it would be, it would have to be calculated, believe me. They'd have to push me over the edge at the right time. Let's go here. Robert, it works for me, Mark. Sounds like paradise, Mark Malone says. To Robert Steele says 4 years, 130 million tacos. That's what I'm talking about. Cinnabon Delights is an incentive. Them Cinnabon Delights are fire as shit. Tyrone says the Immaculate Chalupa. And Steel Loyal says Baja Blast Slushy. If we win a playoff game, my God. I love the way these guys think. I love it. Mike, I also love the way you tell everybody about the website.
The Dum Yinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. You know what's over there. We got all of our articles. We got all of our links to all of our social media over there. If it's your thing too, we got the merch store over at the Dum Yinzers.com. Maybe someone can buy a t-shirt so I can get a screw to put that fucking thing back in. I'm too lazy to go find it. I know exactly where it fell. I think I know where it fell. But buy a t-shirt so I can get a screw. At the Dum Yinzers.com.
The question of the day, guys, it's about Super Bowl odds. This is a question that has to do with Super Bowl odds for the Steelers. So put on your thinking caps, everybody. Mike, put your thinking cap on, everybody on the board, everybody at home. Let's get into the question of the day. Mike, of course, everyone's a little discouraged because the Steelers are at a plus 5,000. People don't want to hear that when you're talking about your football team. Plus 5,000 is the odds that your team have to go to this to be a Super Bowl team this year, Mike. That's about 2%, 1.5 to 2%. The Steelers are at a plus 5,000. The question of the day, Mike, the magic year back in 05 with the worst offensive line in the playoffs, with a second-year quarterback. Did they have higher or lower preseason odds to be a Super Bowl team than the team that we have right now?
Ooh.
Again, the number, guys, we are a plus 5,000, which is about 2% to be a Super Bowl team. The great Super Bowl winning team, Mike, back in 05, that got in as a 6th seed. They had the worst offensive line in the playoffs. They ended up getting it done. They win by a shoestring tackle. A lot of things happened. They won 4 games in a row at the end of the year by running over Urlacher to even make the playoffs. They won X amount of games to even get in the playoffs. Mike, is this team's odds at plus 5,000 better or worse than the 05's preseason odds? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the tube. Lindsay says that's crazy. She says 2% is crazy. Somber says I bet they have the Ravens at 8 plus 800. Yeah, they're up there. They're certainly higher than we are. I can't even think of what it was right off the top of my head because I don't even think I paid much attention to them. But I'm pretty sure they were certainly over on the left side, the left column. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. I want to say our odds were better in 25 just because we had Big Ben. LOL. Not bad logic. Also, Tortilla says this. I'm going to say Le'Veon Bell. LeGarrette Blount. Hiya. And finally, Robert says the 2005 team had a very good offensive line. The 2008 was the one with the bad offensive line. Throw your thoughts, throw your guesses. You might know them, you might not. You might be right, you might be wrong. Throw it up on the terrible board if you think you got it. Again, the question of the day, Mike, our plus 5,000 odds of being a Super Bowl team this year puts us about 1.5 to 2%. Is that higher or lower than the odds for the 05 team that went on to win the Super Bowl? What is your thoughts on this question, Mike?
So our odds are really, really bad this year. The year before the team went to the AFC Championship game, so I'm gonna say higher. Like that team had better odds.
That team had better odds.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that your final answer?
A better answer, yeah, because that team was more well regarded.
All right, locking you in there on your final answer. Mike, let's see. Let's go to Ty. Ty says lower. Lindsay says, I don't know if it gets lower. Does it go into the negatives? Well, yeah, the better your chances are, it does get into the negatives. The worse your chances are, the higher the positive goes. 2005 was one of the favorites. Robert is saying we came in and beat the 1, 2, 3, and the 1 in the playoffs. We came in as a 6. We barely made the playoffs. We needed to win the last 4 games. We did win the last 4 games. We got in and we beat the Bengals in the first round, 34-17, if I'm not mistaken. We beat the Colts in the second round, 21-18 in the shoelace tackle game. Jerome Bettis fumbling. We beat the Broncos, which was 1, 2, and 3. Those 3 teams. We beat them down in Mile High. I think we beat them 34-7. We beat them by the same score that we beat the Bengals 2 weeks prior. And then we faced the number one Seattle Seahawks from the NFC, of course, that year as a 6th seed, becoming only the second 6th seed ever to win a Super Bowl wild card. It was a long shot, guys. Question of the day. This year we have a plus 5,000. A plus 5,000. Remember, we're plus 5,000, which is about 2%. The question is it higher or lower than the preseason odds for that 05 Super Bowl team? Here we go, guys. Here's the answer. 5,000. We're to plus 5,000 this year. The team in 05 in preseason, Mike, was at a plus 1,200. This team has better odds to win the Super Bowl than the team back in 05. If you can believe that.
Like I said, we're plus 5,000.
Yeah, this team is plus 5,000 right now.
They're plus
They were
12,000.
plus 12,000. 1,200. I'm sorry.
So that team was better.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I read it as 12,000.
Okay,
so that team was
okay.
better.
I was
Yeah.
like, God
Damn, man, they're plus 12,000. Holy
Plus
shit.
1,200 was the Super Bowl team in 05. So you were 100% correct. That is true. Yes, I was reading with an extra zero. I'm wondering. I was looking at your face and what the fuck did I fuck up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
12
you. I was like,
1,200
wait a
was
second,
that team. 5,000 was this team. Yes, that team did have better odds. Good job, guys. If you did guess that, Ben was cooking that year. Now that Super Bowl, he didn't play the best, but enough to win 7. Yeah, absolutely, dude. No two ways about it. He didn't look. If it wasn't for that touchdown, barely sneaking across the line on the QB sneak.
if Hines Ward didn't drop a gimme touchdown from him and come off the field giggling like a little schoolgirl, Ben would have looked a lot better.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
And it wasn't Ben that got the job done. You remember it was Antoine Randall throwing the touchdown pass. Yeah. It was Ben sneaking it across, and then it was Willie Parker's 75-yard run to start the second half.
Yeah, like Ben also had some really good scramble plays where he made stuff happen to get us down there. Just couldn't convert on some of them.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't the greatest game he played, but he made plays when we needed him to.
And you know what? Seattle wasn't the greatest number 1 seed either. I didn't think they with was Hasselbeck was their quarterback. And I think Jeremy Stevens was their only touchdown scored in that game. We won 21-10. Their only touchdown was to their tight end Jeremy Stevens. It wasn't even Sean Alexander. So again, that wasn't the greatest number 1 seed team to play. But you know what? It was worked for us. We didn't go in and play the best football. We didn't have the greatest team that year, Mike. It was a 75-yard run to start the half. It was Ben barely getting in a trick play to score. So again, it was a very not typical Super Bowl at the end of the day. But you know what? We got it done. We beat the 1, 2, 3 in the AFC, and we beat the 1 in the NFC, coming in as a 6. So any way you slice it, Mike, that's pretty impressive, and they did get it done.
We were the first 6 seed to do it, and then 2 years or 3 years later, Eli took the Giants as a 6 seed to knock off Tom Brady. So we set the precedent. We set the standard.
I thought we were the second, but you know what? Either way, whatever the facts are.
Yep. If not, I'm saying we are.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go here. Let's go, Mike, to either Somber. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go here. Okay, 2005. Okay, high or no clue. I don't know anything about betting league. You know what? I really don't either, to be honest. Mark Malone, he says, man, Ben was coming off that rookie run. You know what? I thought he looked better in his rookie season, but you know what? He got it done in his second year, of course, falling short 41-27 in his rookie year to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Let's go here to Lindsay. Me either somber, confused. Let's go Steel Loyal. My thoughts too, Mark. That's why I think the odds were better in 05. Robert, I was at the game when we got the win in Denver to send Jerome to Detroit. That's awesome. Jake Plummer, we came out out the gate and scored 17 points. I think we were up 17-0 to start that game in Denver. Let's go here to we did get Ty on the bench. Let's go to Ty right here, the Cards Super Bowl throw, and that whole drive. See, now that was greatness. And the winner of the Cardinals was greatness at quarterback. Again, the Super Bowl winner over Seattle, he did what he had to do. Yeah. And not make mistakes, and they got it done. Two totally different kind of play, but at the end of the day, Ben is Ben. Let's go here to Tiny Toe Tap. Mark Malone, does everyone remember where Bettis is from? Bettis is from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit!
Again, with Detroit. Tyrone, here we go. Steelers with the Rockets. Great show, you bastards. My friend Tyrone, thank you so much for that. Mark Malone, a city that has been a great trade partner for us for many years. Hopefully not anytime soon. But, Mike, your thoughts today's show?
There's no way in hell we're ever going to trade for Jonathan Taylor. There's no way in hell we will ever sign someone like C.J. Stroud free agency. Like, it does not make sense to the plans that we were trying to do as a franchise. Like, you can tell we are in like the the dead era for the national media. They have no idea what to talk about because they don't know these teams, and it's fun to talk about, but it ain't never going to happen. And yeah, luckily, all you guys are smart enough to recognize and understand that and call them out on their blatant nonsense. And trade JPJ. Sorry, Tyrant, I had to jump on there.
Steele says this. He says, "Did you say tiny toe tap?" Tortilla says this. Trade JPJ for Amon St. Brown. Lindsay, thank you as always for being with us today. I hope you have a great day. Stay cool. It's getting warm here in Western PA. I'm seeing a heat advisory across the bottom of my computer screen as we speak. Mark Malone, the fast Willie got off lightning, baby. That was, and again, I don't know if it's happened since, but at that point, it tied the longest run in Super Bowl history.
I think it's still there, and what a great block by Allen Faneca too.
Yes, of course. A couple more. Let's go right here. Somber, LOL. He says, Lindsay, I've never placed a sports bet in my life. Zero clue. Yeah, you know what? I'm not a gambler either. I'd rather just buy. I don't know. I'm just not. I've never been. It's just not in my nature. Mark Malone. What a nickname. Also, right here, Tyrone says, "Shake my head, Mike. Wow, all the times I had your back."
I'm sorry, brother. I had to. If I didn't love you, I would not have thrown that in.
That's true. Mike only treats the people bad that he loves. I've realized.
It is true. I am like a terrible human being when it comes to that. If I don't like you or love you, I won't fuck with you. I won't be mean to you.
Well, Mike, one thing that I know, I one person you're not going to have to worry about loving you and you loving. I pulled up the results this morning. We have 1 day left. Tomorrow is the last day of Gay Pride Month. Of course, we did put Mike and Derpy on gay dating websites to see who could pull more man ass in this month of Gay Pride. Mike, this is the results as of today with 1 day left. Total views, Derpy has 314. You have 224. And then as far as likes, Mike, Derpy is up to 95, and you fell down to 70. You just he really got a lot over the weekend, and yours didn't move. But you know what?
Hey, I'm taking quality over quantity any day of the week.
Again, I think it's the Superman costume on Derpy. If you ask me my opinion, if you would have the Superman costume on, Mike, I think you could have done well on the gay dating website as well.
Yeah, I think so too. And that Derpy just screams like submissive. Like do whatever he is told to do.
Tortilla says, I tried to sign up for prize picks, and they said my email was already being used.
Oh, shit, brother.
It's still loyal. Says, damn, it's a blowout. Pun intended, of course, guys. So again, we'll touch the last of the results tomorrow. Mike, you have a lot of catching up to do, but you know what? You put in a hard fight. Put in a hard thing this year, and again, maybe next year we'll get you in the Superman costume and see how that has to be the difference. It has to be the difference. He seems like an easy target. That's all. I'm just gonna sit here and eat my sandwich. Whoa. Yes,
we need that video on there, and I will win it. I'll make a comeback.
I am snapshotting the shit out of that picture today. Believe me.
Oh, I know. You sick fucks. Well, someone will.
Let's see a few things before we do get ready to take off for today, guys. If you are warm as everybody else is, it's summertime. 87, Mike, I'm seeing right now here in Western PA, 87 degrees. Do yourself a favor, stop by and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner if you get thirsty. It's now available in 6 and 12 packs at the Giant Eagle, Mike, and wherever cases are sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner are pretty amazing people. We like them a lot. They help us out with things. We help them out with things, guys. So do them a favor. Swing by, get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. If you're not maybe even drinking that much, swing by and check out their social media pages. Hit the like, hit the follow. All that stuff will certainly help them out. I'm sure they will appreciate it all. Also, Mike, we always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap in the studio for any event that comes along, made right here in Western Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, PA. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
While you are checking them out, maybe on social media, maybe you made the choice, like, I don't drink, let's go to social media, like them. While you're there, check us out as well, guys. We're at Facebook, we're at X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok even. Swing by and hit the follow button. Keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you had not done it yet, do hit the like button right down below. Hit the like, hit the sub, the share, the comments, whatever. It all helps push things out in the algorithm here on Facebook, guys. It all helps us out. We appreciate it all. Thank you. What do we got here, Mike? Tomorrow we'll be back, and we will be less than a month away from the start of camp. Again, 7/28, 1 month ago yesterday, the guys start showing up at camp. To 1 month from today, camp begins. August 3rd is the first day for pads. August 8th is the Saturday Night Lights. And, of course, August 17th, Mike, that is the last day of camp. And that means we are this close to the start of the regular season. So, guys, a lot and preseason, of course, a lot of Steelers coming up real soon, guys. Less than a month away. We'll be back tomorrow to get into all this stuff and so much more. Pittsburgh Pirates, again, Mike, they starting a new series off today, a 4-game set in Philly. This one kind of worries me. Either get your relief pitching or get off the pot. That's my opinion, Mike. I'm this close away to not following them anymore this season and saying F you. Don't go halfway in when you're going all in. That's what they're doing. And I think that's counterproductive.
It is. I'm about right there with you too.
And also, besides for that, guys, I do think that's everything. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get into all this and so much more all over again. I hope everybody stays cool, Mike. It's a scorcher. And again, you are certainly preparing, Mike. We have air conditioners in places we never had them. We have fans in places we never had them here at the studio. Mike is on top of this heat business. And
I ain't fucking about.
And you know what? I think you're wearing. Are you wearing long sleeves?
No.
Oh, okay. The way you were sitting, I thought, is he wearing long sleeves? I don't know what else.
At one point, I might had to. It got really cold down here. I was like, oh shit, this might be overkill.
Yeah. But guys, we do want to say thank everybody to everybody so much for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you everybody on the board. You guys, you are the lifeblood of this show. We always say that. We always mean that. You guys are the best. You always keep things interesting here on the Two Dum Yinzers, and we treasure you. We really do. Thank you so much to everybody on the board, everybody that's at home watching, maybe listening, maybe in the car, maybe at the gym, possibly at work, in the bathroom stall, waiting for your shift to finish up here in about 20 minutes, wherever you might be working, listening, watching to the show. We thank you too. Let me grab a couple more. I think I do have one more message on the board. Robert said 74 degrees here in the Rockies, but there are fires burning all over the place. Oh, these fires already everywhere. Oh, hey, keep it cool, everybody. Try to stay cool. Have a great Monday. Pirates, you got wrestling and all kind of different stuff coming, and we'll be back tomorrow to get ready, Mike, as we will be less than a month away from the official start of camp in St. Vincent College in Latrobe, right here in Western PA in Westmoreland County. A month away, Mike. We are just a month away.
So close, baby.
I'm going to swing around one more time here, Mike. Anything before we go? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Have a good weekend, everyone. And Tyrone.
Well, it is Monday, so having a good weekend is probably...
Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. You know what I meant. I'm trying to make a heart here for Tyrone.
There you go.
I don't know.
Robert says, record low snowpack this past winter. Okay. Well, try to keep cool, guys. I know it's going to get warm. Hey, get some Duquesne Pilsner wherever you can. I'm sure that will help, and we'll be back tomorrow to get into all this Steelers stuff and so much more with just a month left till we go. And again, 76 days, Chris Hoke days until the season kicks off against the Atlanta Falcons, guys. So we're getting there. It's right around the corner, and we're here for every minute of it as we are here all year round, 365 days with Pittsburgh Steeler Talk, guys. We can't wait to be back tomorrow to see you all. Then I hope everybody has a great day, stays safe, stays cool. And for everybody here at the show, for Finch, for Derpy, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself, the Two Dum Yinzers, everybody have a safe Monday. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.